Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it's the 26th of December 2020, Boxing Day, and it's 3 minutes past 4 in the evening. Welcome to another live stream, as we said. Today we're back in the ZIBO MOD 737. We're in Seville in the south of Spain. We'll be taking a 2-hour sector all the way to La Palma in Gran Canaria. Now I was always going to be doing this stream at some point because I did see that ORBX will be releasing the TrueEarth scenery for the entire islands, which I downloaded this morning, and it goes without saying, of course, when we have a nice exciting stream on a day like this, that we're going to be doing a giveaway. So one lucky winner in chat after landing in La Palma will have the opportunity to win this brand new scenery package from ORBX. So thank you very much to ORBX for firstly giving me the scenery, but I'm actually purchasing the giveaway myself. That's my way of giving back a little bit to you guys watching. I hope you all had a great Christmas as well. We had a lovely quiet day yesterday, just Mara and I, because of the tier we live in the UK, but we couldn't actually meet up with any family members apart from outside the house. But we went on a nice long walk with Jack, and we were streaming on the Flight Deck Sim Gaming last night. Well, Mariana was, and I was joining in as playing a bit of Among Us, so that was good fun. But yes, nice to be back in Explain 11. Now, one thing that will be different today in this stream, which is very unusual, is that we're actually not only on VATSIM today. Now, the reason is, for those of you that watched last stream, we had 2 crashes while streaming. I've never had 2 before. I mean, one is rare enough. And I'm pretty confident that both of them were down to Xpilot, the VATSIM client. So I really want to have a stream, especially when I'm showcasing new scenery like this, where there's going to be minimal issues. Now, it's not so much the issue on VATSIM, it's the issue that Xpilot is causing for me. I'm pretty sure these crashes. Certainly in the case of the second one here, I've had loads of people comment and message me after that stream saying, yes, Xpilot has caused crashes for me recently. So yeah, I just thought we'd head offline for this sector, which is a great shame because I love being on the VATSIM network, having you guys join me on the group flights as well, representing our backer areas. But nice perhaps to go offline, and this way I can not have the distraction with ATC and go into a bit more detail about the procedures we'll be flying today, especially the NDB approach today into La Palma, which is quite a tricky 15-degree offset approach. So for that reason, we're not actually in Alpaca Airways livery today. I thought I'd actually showcase sort of the other ones. This is one from one of my older members, Icefire. It's the updated Flight Deck to Sim livery, so I thought we'd have a bit of fun here. We're going to simulate taking around 177 passengers or so. This scenery of Seville is from TDG. It's completely free to download, but La Palma we're going to today is included with the ORBX TrueEarth scenery as well. Pretty much all the members you can see here in the chat today. So many members indeed. Hi Brookie said use Swift for VATSIM, much better performance. I have heard of Swift. No way I had the time to set that up, and once I did take a look at it around 6 months ago, it really scared me, so I didn't actually use it. Xpilot is so much simpler to use, so hopefully there'll be a patch to fix that, or I could perhaps change some settings to fix that issue. That'd be great. We've got Mo in here, we've got Kieran Harvey, Pitrich is going to be winning the giveaway. Yeah, he's had a bit of luck winning giveaways here, but it's not only open to members, anyone in chat has an opportunity for joining. Vixen Wolf, I see you commented you're unable to join the Discord. That's because it's completely automated with your membership. So as a new member, what you need to go is go over to Google search YouTube Discord synchronization, follow the steps there, and then you'll be able to get in to the Discord there. If you have any other problems, answer in chat. I'm sure we'll have someone there come and help you there. Pablo Ruiz. Oh, Mariana says it's already been sorted. Oh, there you go. Mariana's on the ball as ever. Thank you. Excellent. So yes, without blabbing on too much, let's jump into the cockpit here and then get on our way. So we are running a brand new version of the ZIBO mod. We're in version, I think it's 34431, the latest public one, or whatever we're on now. So untested for this sector. So I'll have to see how we get on today. So let's get the show on the road. Battery on. And let's get the GPU connected. There we are. GPU's on the bus. Electric hydraulic pumps can come on. Landing gear lever. That is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights, and we check the aircraft documentation. I was actually thinking of jumping into another aircraft, but I'm hoping to actually go flying in a couple of days' time. Unlikely at the moment, because my destination where I'm flying to in a couple of days is currently on the prohibited country list for basically you can't leave the UK to go to most of the countries in Europe, and I meant to go to Germany, and at the moment Germany have just announced that they're not accepting any flights into the UK until the 6th of January. So I did speak to someone from my operator today. Hopefully what they're going to do is hopefully change me on to another flight, because they're trying to keep everyone in check at the moment, and I'm due to go fly because I haven't flown for 6 weeks, so fingers crossed for me I get to go flying on Monday, which would be great fun. Right, that's the fault test done. Let's do the fire test. Fire warning. Master caution overheat detector. And the lights are all on here. Yeah, so that going back, that's why I'm flying the ZIBO mod today. Just so I could go over my checklist. If I go in the A300 or the 757, I'm going to only confuse myself. I'm only kidding, but it's nice to continue those flows that we do every single day on each sector there. Hold on, what am I doing? I need to get some fuel here, so emergency exit lights armed. So, a bit of a test for the ZIBO mod today. The weather's quite nice in La Palma, not expecting any disruption. So what we're going to do is just going to take standard fuel. Usually when I'm on VATSIM, I take additional fuel to take into account any delays, which are often common, but we're going to take the standard fuel here today of 8.8 tonnes, and on top of that, because I want to get there before sunset, I've actually took the cost index all the way up to 100, so we're going to be flying pretty much as fast as we can. I have had occasionally in real life cost index 100 flight plans, usually when we're running a bit late or there's a curfew at your destination, or you have to get back in home at time, because if you miss that curfew, the airport runway closes, you have to divert. So we'll try out cost index 100 flight plan, see how we get on. So we'll take 8.8 tonnes, which is precisely how much fuel I'd be taking today if I was flying to La Palma in real life, because the weather isn't so bad. So here comes the fuel now, 8.8, and we're going to take 177 simulated passengers, and we'll call for the fuel truck, and the payload's now been loaded in. There we go, there's Pablo loading up the gasoline, looking good here. The aviator says, hello from India, very good evening to you, sir. We have a few people coming in from India here, and we have not flown in India much either. El Bapino 65 says, hello from France, cheese and wine as usual. I wanted to make that stereotype at all, El Bapino 65. Modraz says, flight deck to Sim Gaming, or you're talking to Marianne, the event, thanks a lot, have you got the ground handling deluxe 1-2, or is there a late delivery for that? Marianne, you can answer that. Matu says, did you get champagne? They're asking me, perhaps. We actually, loads of you showed your crazy generosity yesterday. We did actually get a bottle of champagne for Christmas Day, which is very nice. Right, fuel's on its way then, so we can carry on with the panel scan, pushing attend. Flaps are up, matching the flap position. Check the config warning horn. That's all set where we want it. Let's do the cargo fire warning test. That's all set. That's closed. On trim is 3 and 0. Circuit breakers are in. That's tested. Mac SB warning test. Need to wait a little bit longer for the stall warning test. IRS to nav. 7 minutes. I don't actually, out of habit in the real aircraft, ever change the display selector, but I always like to demonstrate to you, just to show you how many minutes of alignment we have. So putting in heading STS shows you how many minutes it'll take for the alignment to complete based off your latitude. Circuit breakers are in, and we can now start boarding. There we are. Let's now carry on with the rest of the setup. So at this point we get the ATIS from VATSIM, or in real life as well, but we're going to follow the METAR. METAR is showing pretty nice weather. I've actually done the performance on the OPT and taken a screenshot for you, so we're using real world takeoff performance today. So Seville, 080, 11 knots, clear skies, it's 12 degrees, QNH is 1024. That's set. MFRA, we'll show you this later, is 1120. There we are, that's set. Thank you very much to Kid Bear, who's just joined as a member. Now, Kid Bear, I know you messaged me on Instagram, but I've just been flooded with messages there. You showed me your real name. Thank you so much for joining as a member. Glad you've been enjoying the content, and welcome on board. And get yourself into Discord, where you'll be able to freely talk to me whenever you wish, because Discord is my #1 priority with all the members all the time. So thank you very much, buddy. Nicholas F. No VATSIM today. Yeah, as we were explaining at the start of the stream, the reason is I'm having issues with X-Pilot. I'm pretty sure, I can't say conclusively, but based off the last stream, 2 crashes I had were caused by X-Pilot. I repeated the sector without X-Pilot, didn't crash. So yeah, I just wanted to have a stream where I minimise the chances of the sim crashing, especially as I'm showcasing scenery today from ORBX. So hopefully no issues. If we do crash, we'll reposition straight away to the Canary Islands and fly the same approach like we did last stream. But yeah, apologies, because I know a lot of people do like to join me on VATSIM. I love using VATSIM as well, so I was really torn whether to do it, but I really wanted a minimal disruption today, especially. Let's carry on with the rest of the checks then. So QNH we set, MFRA's 1120, we'll turn on terrain for now, airports even though we'll select weather radar for departure. Lighting's all good, clock matches the UTC, we've got all the normal warnings and displays. On the displays now, let's load up the FMS. So latest flight plan straight from SimBrief, we're in Seville, which is LEZL. We'll select GPS left. We're going to Gran Canaria, Golf Charlie, Lima Alpha. Our call sign today, well, imagine it is Alpaca 8 Lima Alpha. Just think what I think I have at the top of the screen. Yes, I do. It's going to be runway 09 today with that wind, and the departure is the Clana 3 Romeo and Upper November 857 to Turto, and then the arrival. And that's going to be the Turto 2 Alpha. NDB 36, and that is activated. We'll execute it here. Let's just check the step page. Sorry, the legs page. Check for any discontinuities by stepping through the flight plan. Looking good. Really nice approach for you to enjoy today. NDB to a missed approach point, so we'll discuss about how to fly these particular approaches, how to set them up. Without being on VATSIM, I can really go into detail about hopefully being distracted by... well, hopefully I won't be distracted by ATC. Perfect. Performance then, 0 fuel weight's 58.5. As we're still refueling, you can see the gross weight is increasing, so we won't actually complete the takeoff performance until the refueling is complete. Reserves then, our alternate today is Tenerife, so the sum of these two will be 2 something, so 2.3. Cost index, remember, we're going to use a 100 today. Cruise flight level is 350, we might step up to 37 later. Put 350 in for initially. Top of climb wind 097 at 21. Hardly any wind today. Average wind is 268 at 45. Let's put that to map. If it's in plan, you can't access the route data page. So in plan it says steps, so you just have to take it out of plan. And here we're just going to put the first, the average wind at the first waypoint after top of climb, which is here 268 at 45. Execute. There we go. Top of climb ISA -2. Transition altitude in Seville should be on this chart here, is 6,000 feet. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Have we finished fueling just yet? Nearly. Let's just wait for the fueling to be complete, which is pretty much nearly done. We just need a ton in the centre tank. Put the centre tank pumps on. As soon as that's done, we'll complete the performance for departure as well. Pokefan 1000 says hi. Kim Pritchard said, does everyone likes the vid? Absolutely. Who else have we got here? Herman have a good flight, boss. Have a nice button landing. We'll see what we can do today, but this isn't the shortest of runways, and it's down sloped as well, so it might cause issues. Listed me out of memory crash in 20 minutes. I hope not. Vasilius, I have to say that this is the best channel, even though many people are watching. You always pay attention to the chat. Thank you, Vasilis. Not so much at this point, but certainly in the cruise, we've got plenty of time to answer any questions you have there. Right, looks like the fueling's all done. 3.9, 900 kilos in the centre tank. So what I'm going to do is actually just quickly do the overhead panel scan, because I want to get the APU started for the takeoff performance. That's good. Start the APU. Cruising at 35,000 feet initially. And elevation in La Palma, can't be too far above sea level. Just got the charts right in front of me here, guys. It is elevation 108 feet, so we'll put 100 here. I can go to steady. Flight directors will pop on. Runway heading in Seville is 0901. Which we'll put here 3 times initially, and then we'll finish setting up the SID shortly. Now imagine we've got our clearance. We're going to be flying the Kalana 3 Romeo, and it mentions here any stop altitude. I don't think it does. There's lots of Spanish airports where they don't have a stop altitude. It says 70 above, 130 above. Well, as there's no ATC, I'm going to go all the way up to cruise level, which is flight level 350. Actually, I had some clearances which they could put you straight to your cruise flight level. Thank you very much to John Kessler, who's just joined as a member. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content, and welcome on board as a member. Enjoy your customization chat. Get you in the members only Discord ASAP. Andy H1302. Is this no ATC? No. Apocalypse. Does that mean a boga? We'll see if we can do a boga today. We've got a bit more time, a bit more relaxing, isn't it? And it'll be a tricky missed approach as well. Well, a rejected landing in this case. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right, what else have we got left to do? FMCP's all loaded. Yes, let's have a look at this departure then. So we're going to be flying the Kalana 3 Romeo for 09. Climb on runway heading till 3.5 miles from Seville. Inbound, so we're actually flying towards the VOR, so 3.5. Seville's 13.7. So 13.7 is set. And we're going to be making a right turn, intercepting the 226 radial. 226 radial until we're 27 miles from Seville, which is just here. Be out of our flight level 70. And then we'll make a left turn to intercept the Seville 222 radial. So it's the same VOR used for the entire departure, just a slight left turn to change the radial at 27 miles onto the 222. And at that point we route to Kalana, got to be above flight level 130, but at that point we'll be beam Haref already. So that's the departure all sorted. We just need to do the takeoff performance. So if we come up here, we'll get the APU on the bus. It's been running for at least a minute now, so let's pop the APU bleed on, and it should hopefully match the OPT. So performance in the real aircraft, it's done independently by both the captain and the first officer. Obviously, in a desktop simulator, you've got to get hold of an accurate performance calculator to be able to actually do this. Hold on, make sure I just get the correct charts up here. Which obviously this you can't get more accurate than the real thing. So yeah, lots of people ask this. You can't get hold of this. This is from my work EFB. This is the official Boeing OPT, which we use to take off, used to calculate takeoff performance. I've got loads of airports on the database. We just essentially punch in the information. And it's done by both pilots independently. We then cross-check that once we receive the loading documentation. There's a separate page on this where you can put all the passengers in, and it comes with all the figures you need. So essentially, I've copied the METAR, which is injected into X-Plane 11, so Seville, runway 09, no intersection for departure, dry runway, surface wind 080 at 13, so it's pretty much straight down the runway with a 13 knot headwind, temperature 12 degrees, QNH is 1024, optimum. We want to take the maximum assumed temperature, flat 5 for departure, air conditioning auto, anti-ice office for departure. This is quite a new thing on the Boeing OPT, it's called ICEXT. So basically you can have an option to extend your what we call second segment climb. So the takeoff performance, or the takeoff profile in the event of an engine failure is broken into segments, and the second segment is the kind of part from once you're airborne to the point which you accelerate in the event of an engine failure. And if there's an obstacle after the second segment, we can extend the point at which we bug up essentially, and this raises the what we call MFRA. Now I know I'm going into a lot of technicality which you can't really simulate in a desktop sim, but in most cases we leave it off unless there is an obstacle beyond the second segment where we need need to extend our climb. I hope that sort of makes sense. So that's off anyway for takeoff performance, and that is saying we can take reduced 22k with an assumed temperature of 37 degrees. And the M1s, let's compare. There we go. Its point is 1% off. I've noticed the ZIBO mod used to nail this. It's 1% off in this case. I don't know why. It should be exactly all within 0.1%. But I will take the ZIBO mods. Just 40, hope it's closer. I actually need to write notes of this to remind ZIBO. The M1 is slightly different at the moment. It used to be bang on there. Tim Fraser, thank you very much for the £2 donation. One of my longest members. Happy Boxing Day from my family to yours. Thank you very much, Tim. Happy Boxing Day to your family as well. I think we all saw the amount of presents you and your family got on Discord yesterday. Oh my days. I mean, lucky kids or what? Well, it's an incredible amount there. But shows you how generous you are as a man to your kids. So good for you, sir. Perfect. 37 degrees then assumed. Slight discrepancy between the M1. We'd be querying this in real life. Let's crack on here. The ZIBO mod today. Flap 5 V speeds are 42, 43, 47. We'd have a calculated CG in real life as well. The ZIBO mod calculates that for you. So you can see the V speeds pretty much spot on within a knot, which is what they are with the real OPT. We'll bug 147 knots.
Service truck coming.
What? I don't want no service truck. I didn't do that. What does that mean in X-Plane 11? Uh-oh. And 6 units of trim coming up. Wicked. I've got to set V speed, sorry, 147. Right. Well, imagine we've got our clearance then cleared on the Clanner 3 Romeo, which we briefed. Auto brake to RTO, reset the fuel flow, and the rest is all set. So we complete our briefings, check the routing, check the instrumentation, events in the event of an engine failure, rejected takeoff, our taxi, which is going to be like this. Push back, face south, west. We'll go out via one of the Gulf gates and then taxi to 0.09. Departing fire, full length fire alpha, and we've already briefed the SID. Perfect, so better pushback, we'll call now. Do something like this, and then something like this.
Ground to cockpit, cannon knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Wooders Tudders.
Ground to cockpit. Tau is driving up.
There he comes. Oh, you bugged heading, not indicated airspeed, but I'm just testing you guys. Just testing you. Well done. I thought I'd done it. Oh dear. Well done, sirs and ladies. Jim, I was just checking with Jim. Captain Eminem, what's your FPS? Right now, 50. Outside, probably be a lot higher. Oh no, 45. But I've got everything here. Oh look, what's all this X-Plane 11? What? What's all this stuff that's been brought to my aircraft? Is that to do with X-Plane 11? I didn't know X-Plane 11 could do that.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed.
That must be that
Ready
service thing I called for. How do I do that? Oh. Right, anyway, that just reminded me. It's a good job I looked outside. Locked? Yeah, I hope not. So what's that? When I somehow requested for servicing, and it's actually given it all to me, which is pretty cool. Look, a GPU cart, food. Very impressed. Listener says yes, but only on standard airport scenarios. Well, this is a TDG one. Is that going to cause an issue when I push back, or do I have to end it?
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Hold on, Jorge. Let's just try and work out how to get rid of the ground service. Let's try this. See if that does it. Control S.
All right, I got the service request.
Well, I didn't order anything. Try again.
Service on the way.
No!
All right, service is on the way.
Oh no, what have I done? I've got enough alpaca burgers and food today. Oh no. Pablo's bringing back the GPU cart again. Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't really look like a Pablo. Okay. Well, I don't really want to start pushback because it's going to probably take take all this stuff with us. Right, let's try it. See what happens. Right. So we can clear push start. Packs are off. Anti-collision light is on. Parking brake release. Transponder out off. This could be
Starting
interesting.
pushback, and you may start engines.
Ah, good. Just ignore the massive scraping line. Oh my goodness, there we go. It's like, well, that was quite cool. Yep, fuel truck straight through the aircraft as per usual. Unbelievable. So yes, we're going to be racing the clock today. Sun sets in, I think, a little over 2 hours in... Hold on, I just realised the time is wrong. Oh yeah, 16:29. That must be on manual then. There we are, 16:29. That's better. We are live time. Yeah, so we are racing the clock. I think the sun sets today in La Palma at just checking at 18:46. So he should be there perfectly timed. Live weather, live time. Two. Oil pressure, and there's N1. Perfect. Guys, don't forget as well, upon arriving into La Palma, we're flying an NDB approach today. I will be giving away a copy of the TrueEarth scenery. The main reason I actually chose this sector is we'll hopefully have a nice view of all the Canary Islands on the descent into La Palma. La Palma's right on the west hand side of the islands. This approach should take us all the way over. So starter cut out, monitoring engine number 2 stable. Now start engine number 1. Bed 2. 2 tons of love flying offline today. Yeah, I've just last stream I had 2 crashes.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
One of them very short was X-Pilot, the other one I think was X-Pilot. So
stand by.
I've had so many people after that stream tell me, yeah, X-Pilot's causing crashes and stuff according to the log. I spoke to the developer. He couldn't actually really say if it was that or not. He said the first one was actually a graphics card issue my side on the dump file, which I don't know. I've never had any issues that way, but I repeated the sector offline and it didn't crash, whereas for me it crashed on both of them with X-Pilot online. So I mean that's pretty conclusive. So I just wanted a stream where we won't have any crashes, I hope. I don't want to keep talking about it because I won't jinx it. Right, starter cut out, launching engine number 1. Let's stay.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much, Hickory 0002 for the £2. Hello, Captain. Hope you had a pleasant Christmas day. Today, I had to manage an in-flight crisis, departing Rovaniemi with a plane load of elves. 2 had the great idea of starting a riot on board. Had them report to Santa Claus on arrival. Take care, Captain. Thank you very much, Hickory 0002. Oh, those rowdy elves, hey, causing all these sorts of fish. What? No! What is ground crew doing? I've just completed pushback and they are adamant to service this aircraft. Oh no! How do I stop that? Pablo is still showing me the bypass pin at least. My oh my. That would be very concerning when you're just running. Now how on earth do I get rid of that? I have no idea. They seem to like you. I know, listener, they won't leave me alone. Right. You forgot your burgers. I know. Oh dear. No, Alpaca Airways, don't leave us. Come back. Now, this is an issue. Right. How on earth do I unstick these people? Oh dear, oh dear. Right, let me just do the before taxi flow here. Change IPs off, start switches, continuous. Flight controls. Oh, are they leaving now? I hope so. Jim's showing them the middle finger. That's hopefully why they're leaving. Right. Right. Left. Oh, Andy B, Alt F4, you are... Oh, thank you so much for your input today. Oh, jeez. Right. Check's complete. I think Jim obviously gave the finger to the guys at the front. He's now running to the rear of the aircraft to give the middle finger to the rear catering driver to tell him to go and leave us. Hopefully by the time we've... oh no, well we don't do the checklist here. Well, Jim can't read the checklist. He's currently telling Juan Pablo at the back that we've had enough sangria in the catering. We can actually disconnect the catering truck. But we then read that checklist, and I think that's him going. It is! Perfect. I did nothing, by the way. Absolutely nothing. I think they basically just did it there. What would be so funny if we commenced takeoff and then they, you know, some wings grew out of it and they were chasing us all the way to La Palma. Right. So we're offline today. We'll imagine we've got our taxi clearance, which is the taxi out straight ahead. Golf 5. We'll take the first gate here at, well, the second gate, Golf 4, onto Alpha to runway 09. There's bike and brake release config. Let's get out of here before we find another set of ground servicing crew towards the aircraft there. Oh look, he just dropped the bags off, look. Unbelievable. So there's Golf 4, Gate 4, as it's often referred to. And as I said, this scenery is from TDG. I think it's about 3 years old, but as with all the TDG sceneries, uses a lot of the custom libraries available for free. Obviously not quite to the quality of Pay aircraft, but what do you want? It's far better than defaults, and you have all the markings which are often updated and correct, so it's always worthwhile grabbing one from TDG. They do that in real life too, right? AVFWT. Oh dear, how many people are going to ask that today? Carl the Pilot, when is the giveaway? Yes, all the people are going to be ever interested. We're doing the giveaway on landing in La Palma, which will be in just over a couple of hours' time. Going to enjoy a lovely sunset flight over the Atlantic, have a nice chat, catch up. Feel free to ask any questions, and enjoy the rest of your Boxing Day with me in the cockpit. Where did I say I was landing? In La Palma. In
Las Palmas.
No, not Las Palmas. I'm not going to Las Palmas. La Palma. Las Palmas is a different destination in the Canary Islands. Get you?
I stand corrected.
Las Palmas is somewhere else.
Okay.
I want you to apologise now.
No.
Do you want to read the checklist?
I'm busy.
Oh man, it's busy. That's what Jim often says to me. Right, I'll do the before takeoff checklist on my own then. Config we checked. Flaps, we have 5 green lights, stab trim 6 units for departure, takeoff briefing, packs are in auto, bleeds are on, the V-speeds are set, 42, 43, 47, we've got no V-speeds on the PFD and a CV1 here. We're going to be flying the Klana 3 Romeo, so on here you can see we'll be climbing straight ahead, 3.5 DME from Seville, which is coded in the FMS as -4. It's then going to be a right turn on the 226 radial outbound from Seville to 27 DME, climbing all the way to our cruise level, which is flight level 350, NADP2. Any problems will climb straight ahead to the MSA, which I don't actually have a reference to. Let's have a little look at an arrival chart here. MSA in our sector to the east is 4,000 feet, so we go up to 4,000. There we are, before takeoff, checklist complete. Tell the cabin we're ready. I think you have to flick that one, don't you, for it to tell you we're ready. Captain J. Clough says start switches. Yes, in continuous for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
We will. No, there we are. And that should be on as well. Oops. Nice taxi past. haven't really actually shown you where we're flying today just before we go blasting off. It's been a while since I've done a PA as well. No one's been begging for them. Right. So here's our operational flight plan. Let's just do it here so we don't actually end up on the grass. There we are. So we're taking straight off from Seville. Pretty much, well, not a 180 degree turn, but a 130 degree turn southwest, pretty much. Here's Spain, Portugal, over the Atlantic, west coast of Africa, which I unfortunately don't have any ortho for. So we'll be then heading off towards, this is Lanzarote, and you can see hopefully we'll get a nice view of the Canary Islands whilst the sun's just setting there. Perfect. So imagine we got the before takeoff checklist then. Transponders, TRA, and weather radar is on. So MCP is set. Transponder, TRA, strobe lights are on, landing lights on. Check's complete. Tokens in chat. We'll do a rolling departure today. Good. So we'll just keep the thrust around 30%, line up, and then take off. Now if performance was tight, I wouldn't line up like this. I'd actually make another right turn and then do a 90 degree turn here for the line up allowance. But for a bit of fun, we'll do like a rolling
50,
departure.
40, 30.
That's
20,
the worst possible timing
10.
ever. I'll just say thanks to that. Let's do a bit more of a 90 degree offset. I forgot to turn the alerts off.
Hi Captain, on last midweek Mandessa controller gave me a complex instruction. Thanks to your tutorials I was able to put it in the FMC.
Oh, thank you very much, Astro, due for the £5 donation. That was very, very kind of you. He gave you a complex instruction whilst doing the midweek madness. I guess that was the one where we were trying to get into, or before X-Plane crashed, and you were able to complete them based off my tutorials. Thank you very much for your kind donation there, and I've just put the alerts on just for a little bit of concentration on departure. Right, anyway, as I said, tokens in chat, 40%. They do spawn a bolt quickly here, the engines. Stabilise, push toga, set takeoff thrust. For 88.9. Now takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked, release that forward pressure.
V1, rotate.
Up we go, 2.5 degrees per second. And we're airborne.
Positive rate.
Gears coming up, and trim. There we are. Right, back onto the fly directors. I always have to do the compulsory fly past.
1,000.
There's 1,000 feet. We'll bug up. Waiting for 3.5 DME, remember, to initiate that turn. Onto the 226 radial from Seville. There's N1, climb thrust. Above V2 plus 15, the white bug and accelerating, so we can select flaps 1. Nose wants to drop when you retract flaps, so make sure you pitch up and retrim onto the flight directors. Flaps up, exactly 3.5 DME. Oh, now it's commanding that turn to intercept the 226 radial. And I'm just hand flying, following the flight directors. A bit of a steep turn there. Usually it limits it to a maximum of kind of 30 degrees, to be fair, is the maximum. Don't want to be going much faster. There's only speed restriction for that turn. Yes, 210 knots was that speed restriction. So it's actually, I should have perhaps held it at flap 1, but we're only 3 knots above that maximum speed. So, flaps up, no lights. select VNav. It should be at the up speed. It shouldn't command a speed afterwards, but now that turn's complete, we can delete the restriction. Execute and we'll accelerate to 250 now. So VNav set standard. We're passing 4-4 for flight level 350. Command A, and then we'll have to take off checklist. Gears off, water brakes off, start switches, good cop, off. Air conditioning and pressurization, 2.0. Auto. The rest is all set. Release the cabin crew. And standard set, passing 5-2, flight level 350. After takeoff checklist complete. And we'll be now hopefully chasing that sun and arriving before the sun sets into La Palma. So I've got the sunset time here for La Palma. It is 1847 Zulu. I'm arriving at 1852, getting there 5 minutes after the sun sets. So it should be still a little bit of sunlight there for us. And we're flying cost index 100. Now, what you can sometimes get from ATC depends on the class of airspace. But if they give you free speed, you can actually accelerate to your econ climb speed below 10,000 feet, and that's actually beneficial for you. In descent, not so much. You want to try and keep the speed below 250 or 100, more for energy management. But often you can get free speed below 10,000 feet on climb. It's quite common, so we'll imagine ATC is very quiet, said, yeah, free speed. And obviously, you want to be flying as soon as possible at your econ climb speed, which for us is obviously a very high speed today because we're at cost index 100 flight plan. So I've just got the weather in Brussels. Yeah, I did see there was a VATSIM event in Brussels today. I was really tempted to do a kind of a long flight from Brussels to La Palma, but I really wanted no issues here. Now, next time I go online, I will use VATSIM and Xpilot, but I haven't changed anything for it to fix the crashing issue, but hopefully I'll have no problems. There we are. Bye, Seville. The Atlantic, it's pretty much going to be sea the entire way. There we are. Captain Jacob turned out all those flying sim burgers have gone bad. But boy, I think in Copenhagen you can't accelerate at flights at level 70 already. I mean, if it's Class D airspace, unless they specifically clear you, you can't go faster, but lots of places will allow you to, but some places it is strictly forbidden. Right, passing 100 to 350, we're doing the pre-cruise checks now. Fuel, we've got 6 pumps, still got 140 kilos in the centre, so they'll soon be burnt. Lights coming off, APU's off, pressurisation, diff pressure's 3.9, and it's climbing steadily, and set. Release the passengers, which we don't do at the moment. Recall, there we are, checks all complete. Lovely. Yi Long Zeta, when do you use the VSD? Rarely see you use it. Yeah, I mean, it's used by pilot monitoring on approaches, typically. So he'd be using it here, but pilot flying, they don't want to have that on there. There's quite a lot of information on the ND otherwise. So there's the 27, hold on, that should be at 20, oh yeah, 25 DME, I thought it was almost a 27 on the chart, if we turn a little bit early. So there's 27 Seville. We've got 27. It just started that turn a little bit early. We should wait until 27 miles, but that's okay. Standard pumps off. So we're making that turn now to intercept the new radial, which is the 222 radial. So if we come over here on the FO side, go to VOR, centre. You can see that the radial coming in, the CDI. But obviously the aircraft's not following the radial physically, it's using LNAV. Would this be ETOPS in real life? No, Lee, not at all. There's quite a lot of domestic airways. Well, when we say domestic, we don't mean within the same country, but we call it conventional airways to the Canary Islands. There are oceanic routings a lot further west, but it's quite common when we go to the Canaries with my operator to fly the non-oceanic routing. But we are certified to fly the oceanic airway, the Tango routes they're called. Top game player CZ, how do you get the statistics on the top of the screen? So that's an overlay by Sim Toolkit Pro. I can't actually see that in game. It's a Streamlabs overlay, or streaming overlay, but it links to X-Plane and it gives you all the basic stats. So here you have a progress bar of your flight. So as we go along, you'll see the blue line fill across here. Departure, arrival, speed, vertical speeds, altitude, heading, our call sign if we're online. Estimated time en route as the crow flies, phase of flight. Boy, do you have the Copenhagen from Fly Tampa? I think it's one of the best sceneries. I do have the Copenhagen scenery from Fly Tampa. We've flown into there at least a couple of times. In fact, I do have a very useful map for you if you ever want to see where exactly we've flown to, which I'll share with you now.
50, 40,
There you go.
30, 20.
Thank you very much,
10.
Dominic Orsini, for the $5 US, buddy.
Good morning, Captain. Boxing Day greetings to you, Mariana and Jack. What is the status on the ex-pilot issue?
Thank you very much, Dominic Orsini. Good morning to you, sir. I hope you had a great Christmas day. So, for me, I've got in contact with the developer, not sure. He wasn't too sure if the issue was related to X-Pilot or myself, but the second one, the log definitely had a reference to X-Pilot causing the crash. The first one, prior to the sim crashing, there were all sorts of messages going on in the log with CSLs. So I did actually repeat the sectors where we had the crashes last stream offline, and it didn't crash. So I'm linking it to X-Pilot. A lot of people in Discord have said I've had the same issue on the same day, on the same flight. I had emails coming in saying I've had the same issue with X-Pilot as well. But what was very strange, I've not updated X-Pilot in some time. I'm still on the stable version, and X-Plane's not had any updates either, so I don't know what's caused those triggers. So to play it safe, I have gone offline today. However, next stream on X-Plane will go online regardless if I found a fix, and just see what happens. So that's the issue. Well, that's the status at least. But yeah, the developer was very nice. I went onto his Discord and asked him. I shared him the dump file and the logs. It was a bit inconclusive, unfortunately. Does the various pieces of streaming software impact your X-Plane performance much? A little bit, Callum. Obviously, I run one system. I know you can use a second PC to run streaming software, but for me personally, it's acceptable, the performance degradation. I mean, right now I'm hitting 60 FPS, so I do everything on one PC. It works quite fine. There's the Spanish mainland, or what's going to be left of it. Enjoying a nice wind view for a short while. Todd Kibley, when are we going to see Flight Deck to Sim in a Concorde? Have you not seen my Concorde stream, Todd? I've done a Concorde stream already, but it will be coming out again very soon. We did a charity stream event from Heathrow to New York about, I think it was 2 months ago now, to celebrate surpassing 50 and 60,000 subscribers. Steve Mayer, boss, could you possibly explain the difference of integrated approach navigation compared to ILS, or is it similar? Now, my operator, Steve, we don't have approval to fly EAN approaches or integrated approach navigation. I can't really tell you how it works. I think it basically mimics an ILS by giving you the same, indications on the PFD, for example. But I really don't know much about it. My operator, we use LNAV and VNAV to fly a non-precision approach. Captain Bago, have you seen Mike Patty's announcement on rebuilding the legendary Draco? I have heard of the Draco because I know he crashed this aircraft. It was like a home-built turboprop, wasn't it? And he crashed it on a crosswind. but I didn't see he was rebuilding it. I don't follow him on YouTube, but it came up on my suggestion feed whenever he crashed it. AG90, what about the 787 or something modern like the A350, maybe the Embraer? Well, I think the 787, or the Microsoft Flight Simulator commercial jets, a little bit too arcadey for me, if I'm honest. They need, well, they're default aircraft, and compared to default aircraft in other simulators, they're much better, but obviously they're no good for what we want to do here. We've flown it for a bit of fun. It's a Magnite 7.8. I've heard mixed reviews about that. The A350, some people say is okay, and I know, is it the Embraer? Now, isn't there an Embraer coming for the Microsoft Flight Simulator soon? I'll try that out, because I think that's the first kind of payware commercial jet coming out, so that'll be cool. Yeah, sorry Steve, I can't give you much more information about Ian approaches. Anti Malfoy is coming back. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, Drake. Yeah, I see what you did there. A Harry Potter reference there. Like, he's 5 out of 10 for that, Anthony. Oh, Cat, thank you very much. Cat claiming, I think, the giveaway from the other day. Thank you very much. I hope Mariner had a wonderful... I missed the message. I'll try and read it on my overlay here. Stand by, Cat. Change the quality of the stream at least. I can't. Well, Cat, whatever the message was, thank you very much for purchasing. Well, I say thank you very much. Thank you very much for winning the giveaway. And I hope you really enjoy wearing that hoodie or on the next group flight, feeling part of the team. And of course, thank you for your time as a member and your continued support as well. But we did miss you on Among Us yesterday. It was a great fun doing it, but Cat's very good at always. Very clever. Car games, that's 15th versus asked that. When's the giveaway? We're going to do the giveaway after landing in La Palma. Yes, Mariner, by the way, has bought me the coolest Christmas present ever. It's the G920 Logitech steering wheel. I was playing on... I can never pronounce it yet. Is it Assetto Corsa? Yesterday with some of the members on Discord. It's so much fun. I've literally addicted to it. I was playing some races yesterday in the afternoon. And for those of you who don't know, we do have a second YouTube channel now, and I'm hoping perhaps tomorrow to do Euro Truck Sim or something using the wheel. I don't have a... I don't have a stand for it. It does work. I basically bolt it to my desk, which is a bit annoying because it's curved at the front. And I stream on a laminated floor, so when I push on the pedals, the chair goes backwards. But it's really nice. It's a really nice wheel. The force feedback is awesome. But yeah, really, really nice. So hopefully, as I've mentioned before, we launched a second channel to do some games and stuff, because I'm not happy doing it on this channel. And I'll publish on the Flight Data Sim social media feeds if I am going to stream anyway. There's 30,000 feet. Jump Scare Raptor, is X-Plane 11 still worth it, or is Microsoft Flight Simulator better? Right now, Jump Scare Raptor, if you want to be flying detailed commercial airliners which are well replicated to their real-world counterparts, you've got to be sticking to X-Plane or Prepared. Microsoft Flight Simulator is still in its infancy. Obviously, I think visually it is far nicer, obviously. And flying GA is really a pleasure, but I fly primarily on this channel commercial jet airliners. My subscribers, I fly 737. My subscribers want to know how to fly 737, so I primarily fly the ZIBO MOD 737. I will be doing some more stuff on Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course, and hopefully rather soon. But I'm waiting for some decent commercial jet airliners, which still come. But X-Plane 11, don't get me wrong, it's a really nice simulator. You'll see the scenery with the TrueEarth scenery. It looks fantastic. Ortho 4XP I use as well. And dynamically, it feels very nice. Victorian Keeper, do pilots listen to music whilst flying? Is that forbidden? It's forbidden. SK, cannot wait for 70k subs to see you back in Concord. It was so cool. Well, we are going to do a charity stream for 70k. I haven't quite decided what we'll do yet, because that's not too far away, guys. It'll be something enduring, for sure. I'll make sure it is. One of the things I have thought about doing is see how many circuits I can do in the ZIBO Mod 737 on a full tank of fuel and just keep going until the tanks run dry. I think that could be quite fun. I will do another Concord stream soon, but yeah, I think for 70k we'll choose a charity. We'll do something enduring, so it's a test for me.
1,000 to go.
Checked. So when we get to top of climb, we'll do a fuel check, because remember we just took standard fuel today, make sure it's all working as we'd expect in the mods. We'll try and suckle out that last 40 kilos of fuel. Robson, is bank angle to 10 degrees a memory item or part of the 30,000 feet pressurization check? Well, it's both. I mean, every 10,000 feet, which obviously I neglect usually in a desktop sim, we carefully check the pressurization, make sure it's still pressurizing. And a part of that check at 30,000 feet, we switch the bank angle to 10 degrees. Your plane says, yeah, everyone subscribe now. Exactly. And there we are. Look at that. Cost index 100. Very true to its real life counterpart. It literally cost index 100 as quick as you go, and it just sits below the clacker. That's very accurate. The cost index modelling is very good in the ZIBO mod. I remember I went to the length about 3 years ago. At my operator, I worked in the simulator, and we have some desktop PCs which are basic FMS trainers, and what I did, I punched in every cost index between 0 and 100 to take the speeds, and then I provided that information to ZIBO, so all the cost index data is very accurate. The speeds are all bang on. Right, let's do that fuel check at Corno then. So 1700, good DTA. So there's Corno, 20 minutes into the flight we should be, 19 minutes, that'll do. We should have 6.9 tons of fuel, we've got 6.9 tons of fuel, we should have burned 1738. And we burned, what's that, 1800, so yeah, pretty much bang on, burnt a little bit of extra fuel, but that's more than expected. That's why the ZIBO mod is perfect. The fuel burn is very precise. In the same way in the real aircraft, the fuel burn when you check it is also very precise. Rolly, unfortunately, I'm on a flight now on a 737, so can't join the stream. Enjoy your flight, Cat. That's very cool, Rolly. I mean, loads of operators now offer onboard Wi-Fi. Very cool. Hans Christian Arland, barber pole speed is the best speed. Absolutely. Well, I want to try and enjoy this sunset and enjoy the scenery flying into La Palma. We are live time at the moment. Should be touching down. Yeah, it's a bit of a longer flight actually, 628 miles. I'll probably have a break in 10 minutes or so, but we'll have a good old chat for the next 25 minutes or so. Jacob Plus, does the same cost index always lead to the same speed, or does it depend on weight and route? Well, a lot of input comes into the speed. Jacob Plus, cost index is one of them. Your climb speed is very much dictated by your headwind or tailwind component that you put in the FMS. So, mentioned it many times before, if you have a very strong headwind in the cruise, the aircraft will fly quite fast in the climb, so it climbs slowly because it doesn't want to sit in the headwind. Conversely, if you have a very strong tailwind in the cruise, the aircraft goes, well, I want that tailwind because that's going to lower the distance we'll fly today. I'll climb at a very slow speed. I know it sounds converse, but when you fly very slowly, the aircraft will climb quicker, so it gets up there quickly. So that's the main input on your climb speed, but your cruise speed and your descent speed is very much dictated by the cost index. In fact, in descent, the only influence on your descent speed is the cost index. In the 737. Wilberly, did you say something about a PA? Yeah, we'll do one just prior to top of descent. I'll do it just for you, William. Or should I say, is it William now? Aaron Borson, are there requirements when landing with extra fuel than you needed, meaning do you need to dump? So the 737 has no capability of dumping fuel. It does have a maximum landing weight, so yes, if you've got a full load of passengers, typically when you're landing in excess of 4 or 5 tons of fuel, you'll be in excess of your max landing weight. But you can land in non-normal situations in excess of that, but that would be such as an engine failure or any time the QRH directed you to land at the aerodrome, land at the nearest suitable airport. But if it was a normal situation where you see we're too heavy, we have to burn that fuel, so increase drag, hold, whatever is needed. Tom Bulldog, Captain, what ADP did you apply out of Seville? NADP 2? Yeah, attempted to, yeah, I bugged up at around 1,000 feet AGL. Will, I know it was me, I do a PA, that is true. Anthony Valio, the 7576 cruised at 0.8 to 0.84, the 707 redlined at around 0.88, and in the early days around 1960 they cruised at the red line all the time. I know they did, Anthony. Aircraft have gotten slower. Well, the 74 was always at 0.84, but this is pretty fast. If it was turbulent here, you wouldn't be too comfortable flying that close to the red line. Victorian innkeeper, what's a pilot's job interview like? It's like those are the job interviews, but there are additional tests required. So basic aptitude tests, teamwork tests, simulator checks as well. Even if you've never flown the aircraft, they want to see how you operate. Most importantly now in a modern aviation aircraft, it's multi-crew corporation, so they want to see you working together as a team. But yeah, I remember my interview reasonably well enough. Oh, I actually just got a notification from work. I'm going to see if I'm flying on Monday, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, they've cancelled the flight. Damn it. So yeah, I knew it was coming anyway, guys. I was meant to be flying on Monday, but the flight's been cancelled. But that is the industry we're in right now. You know, I knew it was coming. We need you now. Well, I'm not on standby today, so I mean, they could call you on a day off, and I'd happily go into work on a day off, of course, especially in these times. But yeah, I'm flying to a country, Germany, from the UK, and it's currently prohibited. I saw it in the news. So basically, any flights leaving to anything going into Germany, be it a truck, train, boat, or aircraft, is prohibited from entering until the 6th of January. So I knew it was coming, but I have to give credit to my operator. They keep the flight open and keep the passengers updated. Because you know how dynamic these situations at the moment. You know, they're changing daily. In some cases, they add a country to a safe list, and the next week they take it off. Then they add another country. So they, you know, I was sort of, kind of hopeful that there might be a change. My only other hope is that they swap around, because I spoke to a good friend of mine who's he's the chief trainer at my base. I know him quite well, and he actually called me up today to see, you know, have you heard anything about our flight on Monday? And I said, no, I doubt it was going. You read the news, and it was really nice. He took the time to actually, I had some questions about some recent changes at work, and it's Boxing Day, it's his day off, and we had a good chat, you know, had a chat about how life was as well, and stuff. But yeah, we were both not optimistic that we'd be going flying on Monday. But anyway, what can we do? I will carry on streaming. I might going to change to a flight that is going, but pretty much 90% of the flights were cancelled anyway. But fingers crossed. It'll be 6 weeks today I last flew. So yeah, I was meant to have gone to Malaga I think 2 weeks ago, but that flight was cancelled as well. We'll have France open their borders up. They have, but I think it's still quite limited. I think it's only haulage and cargo. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Hans Christian, just in the news now, a British Airways flight landed in Sweden, apparently not complying with restrictions for some reason. I know some flights actually had to turn around 180 degrees because of these rules coming in. Car Games, what is your home airport base for your work? All I do ask Car Games on this channel is if you respect my privacy on that one. I will say I'm based in the UK, work for a UK based airline, but I don't disclose whereabouts I am. But thanks, and yeah, I appreciate a lot of people wondering, but something I keep carrying. A lot of people go to great lengths to try and find out if as well, but I'm very grateful to have the channel. The company I work for are very forward thinking. They know about the channel. They say absolutely great idea, knock yourself out, and just don't say we're rubbish. Which they're not. Absolutely, I'm very happy with where I work, and I will continue, and I continue to plan to work here for as long as I'm my career. So there you go. Mr. EW, do you have any favourite aviation YouTubers? Loads of them out there. Obviously, I don't watch too many of them because I do my thing as well. But I'm sure you've all heard of Mentor Pilot. We've heard of that Draco guy. I've watched some of his videos as well. Q8 Pilot Flight Sim Wise, really recommend him. I'm sure you've heard of 320 Sim Pilot and other Airbus Sky V1 simulations. There's a lot of real world pilots streaming now as well. I know on Twitch there's a lot of guys doing stuff there as well, but I don't generally watch many other guys. But if you want Airbus stuff, I can thoroughly recommend V1 Sims and 320 Sim Pilot. Bjorn, he flies at Japan Airlines, based in England now. Bjorn, I've told you, no, don't tell anyone. Sharkless Racing, have you heard about the threshold level up 737? Are you planning on using it? I have heard of it. I haven't really been following their development. I only speak hand in hand with ZIBO, which is obviously what the level up I think 737 is going to be based on. But yeah, I'll probably try out one of the other variants of the 73. There really isn't that much difference to them. Yeah, V1 is awesome. I've spoken to V1 before. And I've spoken to 320 Sim Pilot now as well. He got in contact with me. They're both great guys. Yeah, Plain Old Ben. He's a member of ours as well. He's good for GA stuff. So many good guys about him. How about card number and pin? What are you on about, Peter? You may find out when he does a PA. I'm really naughty. When I do my PAs, I have to really think about them when I'm streaming. It's so easy to say. Japan Air, I mean Alpaca Airways is Japan. Well, Debbie, good evening from London. Enjoying the stream so far. Thanks, buddy. My cat is so stupid that because the UK has some of the best virology in the world means we are able to detect these mutations. I would not be surprised if mainland Europe has it as well. I'm sure this second strain or whatever it is, it's more infective, isn't it? This second strain. I no doubt it is well embedded in several countries around the world. Tim Skipper, you slipped up once, I remember. Clueless Tim, what are you on about? Listerman, are we in broadsword again today, considering the livery? Well, I guess so. I mean, I'm so sorry I'm not on that sim, really am. I really was torn about doing it. I just wanted a stream without crashes. And having 2 crashes last... I've never had X-Plane crash twice. You know, I was actually discussing with some of the members. When I started using X-Plane and streaming, which was 2.5 years ago, I used X-Plane for a good year and it did not crash once. Not a single murmur, not a single issue. When Vulcan came in, and I use Vulcan obviously, it's just started to show a little bit of instability. I should say it now crashes 15-20% of the time. But X-Pilot, I did 2 flights last stream, 2 crashes. I repeated the flight just out of curiosity. Without using X-Pilot, it didn't crash, so yeah, I don't know. Is this version running well? We'll see, Mattia Mercy, if we get to the other side. So this routing we're taking today is a routing I've flown several times to the Canary Islands. Not so much at my current base, but my old UK base when I became a captain. We used to fly along this way quite a bit. We're usually from the UK coming along the south coast here, and then we're kind of joining on this airway via one of these points here. Now they do have the oceanic routing, which is a lot further west, called the Tango routes, which come in this direction. But yeah,
50,
this,
40,
over this exact
30,
piece of airspace,
20,
literally hundreds of
10.
times. Thanks a lot, Kid Bear, for the €5.
Don't have anything better to say than I really enjoy streams and glad to be a member now.
Kid Bear, well, thank you so much for the €5. I'll catch up with you later on Discord. I hope you're in there already as well. The other members will show you. You know, the Discord on our channel is a very active place. We're constantly on there. I answer any. We have channels from pretty much every topic, but we have an entire ATPL theory section. So if you have any aviation questions like that, you punch them in. I check my DMs pretty much every day now, although I sometimes get a bit behind on those. And enjoy it. We're going to be doing lots of members stuff recently. I want to do loads of racing, so I hope you've got a steering wheel. We're going to be having some races with the members as well. Tree plant, what's our progress? I'd say we're about a quarter of the way. 534 miles from top descent over the Atlantic Ocean. Making good progress. Streaming for about an hour and 13 minutes. Or as Commander Jeddah Hofen says, yeah, you got this banner along the top here. There's the flight progress. You can see it's around, yeah, just over a quarter full. Jacob S, hopefully the sim doesn't crash today. X-Mane's crashed on me a few times recently in the same phase of flight, but I was not using VATSIM or X-Pilot like you. I use OpenGL, not Vulkan. Yeah, so like I said, the issues I had related, I've been saying it's X-Pilot. I can't conclusively say it is, because on the first crash I didn't actually mention it, but just before it crashed there were loads of errors coming in with CSLs. I've actually refreshed the whole CSL. I re-downloaded the one from online, and I have the access to all the CSLs which the members update periodically. Yeah, hopefully it's all working there. Car Games is the Canary Islands giveaway at all the airports in the Canary Islands border. So the scenery guys from Car Games, from ORBX, sorry, it includes all of the islands, but only one airport in very high detail. But it's a huge area they've covered. I mean, with all the airlines. So you'll see it on the approach today. I might even crank the time a little bit back so you can actually enjoy the scenery a bit more, but we'll have a look there. If you just type in ORBX TrueEarth Scenery, you'll have a look there. But I'd recommend, if you don't win the giveaway, picking it up in the next few days, because it is actually on sale. They've actually launched it with a sale on now. I think it's 30% off for the first 3 days before it goes back to its regular price. So it's definitely worth grabbing, especially if you're in Europe. You know, Canary Islands are popular destinations to be replicating in desktop sims. Thank you very much, Speedbird Aviation, for your membership. Welcome aboard. Glad you enjoyed the content. We've got a Nigel. We do. I wonder if he is called Nigel. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoyed the custom emojis in chat as well. Thanks a lot, man. Would you buy F1 2020 now you have a steering wheel? I think I might do. I'm a bit torn whether to get a racing seat, because it won't really work with the streaming. Like, I don't think it would work with my desk, and I'll be too far away from the monitor. I don't know. I'd love to get a racing seat set up though. Tokapi says, air law, I remember it well. Yeah, no air law please. Don't ask me questions relating to air law on the channel. Kim Jello Goliath, are you going to switch from X-Plane to flights in 2020 when PMDG releases their 737? I doubt it. I will certainly fly the PMDG 737. No doubt it'll be absolutely fantastic, but X-Plane still has its merits. Who knows where we'll be in the future. I mean, when I started my channel, I hadn't even used X-Plane 11. I was using FSX still to make the tutorials. I then discovered X-Plane and went, wow, this is really good. But yeah, absolutely, we'll be trying it. Thomas the Bragger is the giveaway. Scenery compatible prepared notes only for X-Plane 11. So yes, if you want to enter in the giveaway later, please only enter and put your keyword in if you have X-Plane 11. Otherwise it is completely pointless, because I'll be sending you an email associated with the scenery. It's going to be a very cool approach with lines there as well. It's going to be an NDB approach, 15 degrees offset in during dusk. Should work out okay in the ZIBO mod. ZIBO mod is probably one of the best aircraft in a desktop simulator to practice non-position approaches. The LNAV VNAV system on this is unparalleled. I can't find one that's better in any desktop sim. Even the PMDG VNAV system, well, it's a little bit different to my operator's VNAV, but it's not always that great. Joe Drage, Proxy, what time for the approach? Joe, all I'm imagining right now is you playing that game yesterday. Mario showed me a picture of me, you hugging that wheel. Oh, he's gone, Joe. Retracted his message. Anyway, I'll answer it for you, Joe. Should be touching down at 18:50 Zulu, so an hour and 30 minutes from now, pretty much precisely. So how long have we streamed for? Hour 20, and we've got about an hour 30 to go. So yeah, I'll take a break in about 10 minutes, so about 1:30. Andy, got to pop off for a bit, hopefully back in time for the landing. Take care, Andy, and I'll see you hopefully shortly. I did see just before the stream quite a lot of people were logging in on VATSIM on the sector. I felt really bad, so I was like, oh man. Oh, it's a shame because look, they have ATC, well, not in Gran Canaria, but Lisbon. Oh, never mind. Joe, the concentration was real yesterday. Got to do that again sometime. I might do it tonight, Joe. I'm really up for that. Chasing that sun. That'd be so much brighter in real life. That's one thing Flight Sim 2020, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020's nailed, is that kind of lens flare. It's not on here. You wouldn't be able to see anything outside right now. CMAC, during an offset approach, do you fly the offset and then line up after minimums? That's a really good question, CMAC. It really dependent on the approach. If you basically at the minimums, it depends where you are. If you straight away turn, you might be conflicting onto some terrain. But yes, the offset is designed to keep you off the extended sense line on the approach. So you'll see it today. It's sort of like you'll continue towards the minimums, and then I'll make a slight left turn to correct onto the sense line. But there's good guidance usually from the operator based on what to do. We have some offset approaches where you disconnect it. It strictly says don't keep flying there, keep on the offset right until around 500 feet before turning final. But usually the way it's designed is, you'll see on this approach in particularly, the offset will cross the sense line anyway if you stay on it, so you just basically stay on the offset until you're on the extended sense line today in this case. Consider X-Enviro. I might, Jennerhofen, but I think I saw V1 Simulations using it on a stream, and it had a huge FPS impact on him. So, I don't know. I'm trying to minimise the amount of plugins and extras I have in the sim, just to minimise the chances of having issues or crashes. Thinking of ditching Prepared, it's the FSX engine showing its age, said Rekanzi. I understand Prepared. I think Prepared has some of the best aircraft available, as in regarding detailed functionality, but it's just too sterile. I don't know. I know there's plugins which simulate wind and crossing effects, and they are okay, but for me to get into Prepared now would mean I'd have to get so much stuff installed. I don't think it's worth getting into it. But you're switching to X-Plane 11. X-Plane 11 as a core simulator is pretty much all there. I mean, if you want to replicate what I'm doing today, minus having the scenery, all you need is X-Plane 11, and that's it. The ZIBO mod is free to download, incredibly. That's it, and you can actually fly around like this. I mean, you can get all the plugins if you look in the video description below, and they're all pretty much free to use. So, yeah. Calamar X-Environment is incredible, but yes, virtually half your frame rate in many circumstances. Yeah, for me it's not worth that. I don't really fancy killing the FPS off, just to make it look a little bit prettier. Welcome aboard to the Aviators. Just joined as a member. Glad you joined the content, buddy. Enjoy your customers in chat. We get invited to our members-only Discord as well. To anyone here who is a member, because I do still have members who are not in the Discord, if you want to get into it, go to Google, type in YouTube Discord synchronization, follow those steps, make sure when you're on Discord you're using the web browser version of Discord, not the app on your phone, not the desktop app either. Have it open on your web browser for it to work. Volunteer Sim, I'm using the Honeycomb hardware. No, I have a Airbus Thrustmaster TCA joystick. The Honeycomb yoke, I've heard many good things about it, but I remember trying it at Cosford at the Flight Sim thing. For me personally, I didn't quite like the feel of it in comparison to the inputs on the 7.3. So I prefer having the yoke, if I'm honest. And I fly 99% of the time with the automation anyway. So. Okay, does anyone here have FADSIM? You don't need to use caps, buddy, but usually one of us will get you there. Yes, I think most of the members, especially, or the users here, will be using FADSIM. I would be using it today, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm pretty sure I had crashes caused by that the other day. Right, guys, well, we're approaching around the halfway point of the stream, around just over a third of the way on this flight, so I'm going to take a quick 5-10 minute break. I'll be back at around 32-33 minutes past. If you are enjoying the flight, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. As I said, we'll be doing a giveaway upon landing in La Palma for the entire ORBX scenery for the Canary Islands as well. Stay tuned, and I'll be back in around 7-8 minutes, so cheers. Well, guys, thank you very much for the intermission there. Nicely rested for the rest of this sector. We've got Africa on the left-hand side of the aircraft just here. We've got the Canary Islands coming up. Lanzarote will be the first island we fly over. Anthony Murphy, hi guys, checked about 4 times today. I got no notification there was a stream today. I have notification settings on. Any ideas? I'm not sure, Anthony. I mean, I only published a stream 30 minutes before going live. I always wanted to stream today. As I mentioned a couple of streams, I'd be doing a stream on Boxing Day, but I was just waiting for ORBX to release this scenery. But why it didn't go live, I don't know. I mean, as telling you the obvious, I'm sure it's the case. Make sure you have the subscription on and the bell icon with all notifications on as well. I don't know if you have social media, but I often post on all those. YouTube being YouTube, that's the best way, as Mr. Min said. So 334 miles to run, 1827 Zulu to top percent. Still quite a long sector here. Around 15 minutes we're going to do a very detailed setup. We're going to talk in quite a bit of detail about this approach. It's a bit different to the norm. It's been a while since we've done a non-precision approach, especially one with such a degree of offset. Rick de Ritz, haven't seen you here for a while. Hope you're doing well. Says hello, fellow aviation enthusiast. Long time no see. Same to you as well, my friend. Matthew Mercy, a quick question. In real life, do you check the minimum gradients required for the SID, or do you just comply every time with the 737? Yeah, pretty much that, Matthew. The 737 climb performance is well in excess of the minimum climb gradients. If it is ever an issue, it would usually be brought to our attention in the briefing documentation, but in most cases the minimum SID climb gradient, it's unusual to see it in excess of 1500 feet, very unusual, and you see the climb gradient required for the rate of climb. You know, we're usually doing 2,500–3,000 at the top of the up speed, so there are a few places where you've got to check those. Auckland, you said X-Plane level is just bad. Graphically speaking, yes, probably not as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but show me a commercial airline and Microsoft Flight Simulator that flies as well as any other aircraft not in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You only need to ask the same question once as well. You said about 10 times, are you all on VATSIM? Well, the answer is that no today, no today. Rita Ridge, you're loving the background music as well. Very chill, thank you. You said you got an exam soon. Been panicked due to the fact that I'm in tier 4. Ugh. Yeah, pretty much everything's ground to halt. Same for us as well. Hi Matchem, good evening to you. Brian Kruger's here as well. Doing well. ML Fanny says, wow. Nate, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 has amazing scenery in AutoGen. I don't know if the SDK allows developers to do that much system depth. I think it's quite I don't know, I'm talking out of my limited knowledge when it comes to developing stuff for Flight Simulator 2020, but because it's the new sim and Asobo and Microsoft are pushing out so many updates, so I know it breaks and causes issues for a lot of payware aircraft, so I think they need a bit of stability in the core sim first. 2 tons of love. F for chat for me. Took off without fueling the 737 on VATSIM. Did a quick top up at cruise through the menu. 2 tons of love. That's the beauty of a desktop simulator. Well, quick question for you chaps. As we head towards the Canaries. We are due to be touching down just as the sun sets. Do you want me to leave it live time, or do you want me to crank it back a couple of hours so you can actually see the scenery, the Canary Islands? I think we might have enough light though. Ideally I'd like to leave it as it is, but we'll keep an eye on it. Jesse Lamb says, oh my goodness, the Canary Islands, my favourite. Perfect. Boatboy, do you change cruising altitude during cruise often in real life? Yeah, on a flight like this you'd usually step up. In fact, I'd expect to be at 3.7 at the moment, and then possibly stepping up to 3.9. I mean, I can do a step up to 3.7 shortly. Yeah, I think you're right, playing leave decision
50,
to approach. You'll have a look
40,
there. We'll get,
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Passenger Escobar, for the £7.36.
Excuse me, flight attendant. Is there any Christmas dinner left over?
Thank you very much, Passenger Escobar, for your donation. Yes, here at Alpaca Airways, we do pretty much rely on the scraps when we do fly on the day after Christmas Day, Boxing Day, as we say in the UK. In the Flight Data Sim household, we are pretty much surviving off yesterday's Christmas Day lunch. It was so much food we made for ourselves. It's been lovely. Reheated it in the microwave. Thanks a lot, buddy. Merry Christmas to you, Pastor Escobar. Thank you very much for your continued support as well. Petricol says leave it. No one knows. Yeah, hopefully we'll see. It'll be really nice with the sunset into La Palma, and I'm going to showcase the scenery anyway. We'll have a little fly around the island of La Palma, but don't forget all of the islands are included with the scenery. Jacob Lust, is the 737 your favourite aircraft as a passenger as well? As a passenger, not so much. I mean, the wide-body jets now, well, the Dying 380 I think is the best passenger experience you'll ever have. I've been on a 380 with both Emirates and Singapore Airlines many years ago, and I thought the actual went economy on both those. The economy experience of those is fantastic. It was brilliant. Been on the 8th. We went to New Zealand 4 years ago now, was it, Marina? No, she's not. I thought she was behind me. She's not. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and we got the 777 with Cathay to Hong Kong, and then we took the A350 from Hong Kong to Auckland. The A350 was awesome, very quiet on takeoff. I mean, it was like no noise in the cabin at all. Incredible. Yeah, I've been lucky. I mean, I've been on all the modern commercial airlines and most of the classics as well. Black Hawk 819, hello Captain, I've got a new PC for Christmas and some money, so I've just bought myself X-Pen 11 Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, so I'm looking forward to learning. Fantastic, Black Hawk 819, well this is what this channel's all about. Improving your desktop home simulator experience based off real world procedures, so welcome aboard. Leonard TVG, I remember flying with a pilot in a 737 in the cockpit and had to wait outside in the cabin for a sec. Stood up and hit my head so hard on the ceiling. Airbus is very comfy, but the 737 is life. You're not the only one, Leonard TVG, to smack their head on not only the overhead panel but on the overhead baggage compartment as well. Very low. I think every time when the passengers disembark and I'm stood in the cockpit looking out and saying goodbye, someone usually bangs their head right in front of the left, on the right hand side as you look back from the cockpit, right in the corner there. Many a whacks they've received. Connor Foley, hi, love the streams. Would you be able to go over how to read the visibility requirement at the bottom of an approach chart? I will make a note of that, Connor, to go into a bit of detail, which is what I plan to do today, because we don't have the distraction online on VATSIM. So we'll do a very detailed approach briefing, and I'll cover the visibility requirements. I'll just make a note of that for you. Brian Kruger, what are the favourite acronyms and mnemonics you use to remember checklists and procedures? Well, I have several at my operator. I'm not going to tell them because we'll probably give it away. But my favourite light aircraft is my recently renewed knowledge of bumfage. When you're in a light aircraft, brakes, undercarriage, mixture, fuel, flaps, some other stuff. I still can't remember off my heart now. There's loads. You've got Hazel, Frida. But for kind of what we use at my operator, we just use our own. There's so many out there you can use for different things. Calamar, there's usually me craning my neck trying to get a look into the flight deck without seeming like I'm a complete weirdo. Oh, you're one of those guys, Callum. No, I'm joking. You're not unique in that respect. When I often look backwards, it's often whoever's on the front 5 rows is peering in. Nate, can you also read out the ATIS in depth on your approach briefing? I can't decode the second half. Yeah, well, I mean, we won't be listening to an ATIS as we're offline, but we'll look at the METAR, and that is essentially, you know, an ATIS is a local broadcast of the radio, whereas a METAR is the actual weather conditions. Slightly different format, but on a desktop simulator, the ATIS is just basically reading the METAR, so we can take a look at that. Vasilis, if there's more than 2 minimums on a chart, which one do you pick? It's based off the aircraft approach category. So in the 737, you're in a category C based aircraft, so you use the minimums based off the category C plane. Listen, we're going to call your children Hazel, Frida, Bumfage. Slightly different acronyms, but fair enough. Yeah, Boz, you're right there. Bob, how many flights have you flown in the 737? I can tell you, Bob, precisely how many flights I've done in the 737. I love it when you ask these questions because I have my electronic logbook right next to me. So in total, well, remember flights I've done ever, including gliding light aircraft. So I mean, a flight would be, you know, not necessarily A to B. So if you're doing circuits, takeoff and landing, that would be, if you did 6 circuits, that would be 1 flight in my logbook. You obviously log your takeoffs and landings differently, but I've actually done 2,240 flights in my entire aviation career from when I started gliding all the way up to my last flight in the 737, which was 6 weeks ago. So 2,240 flights, of which in the 737 query date from when did I first fly the 73? It's around February 2011. Today, 26th of 12, 2020. So, I have done 1,994 sectors in the 737. That's how many flights I've completed. 1,994. There you go. Robert S, you got the ORBX Canary Islands as well. Excited to fly there as well, especially VFR. Yeah, it looks really good for VFR. I was tempted to actually do this stream today in the Seneca between the islands, which I still might do at a later date. When can you fly again, said Twan? Well, we were just saying, literally, my company contacted me about an hour ago during the stream, live, and my flight I was meant to be going to on Monday was cancelled, so because of the coronavirus. Grant, what are you going to do for your 10th anniversary, Captain? Flying at my airline? I don't know. Just be grateful I still have a job, if I'm honest. That's what I'll be celebrating. How many hours have I got right now? Total time. Total. Where's my logbook here? Don't crash. Absolute total flying experience, including times in simulators, well, actual flying hours, that's what's important, is 4,562 hours and 15 minutes, of which, on top of that, logged as an instructor in a simulator 1,156 hours. So that's time instructing when I was an SFI at my operator. So including that, it's around 5,700 hours or so. It's very good, this electronic logbook. You get all sorts of very fascinating statistics. It'll tell you how many times you've been to the moon and back. Which, if I can remember rightly, where is it? There we are, total distance flown. Here's some fun statistics for you. So I've been to the moon and back from Earth 4 times. That's how many, how long I've been flying, 737. And I'm relatively new in my aviation career, 9 years flying. So 4 times to the moon and back. That equates to, I've flown around the planet 67 times around the equator. 67 times around the planet. Flight deck to moon. I need to do a KSP stream as well. Oh, just looking at the logbook. That's cool. I'd love to show you the electronic logbook. It'll give far too much information away. What is the name of the logbook? MCC logbook. No, what am I? No, I'm the other one now. MCC pilot log, but it's the original version, which you don't have to pay a subscription for. And they keep, every time I open it, trying to persuade me to upgrade to their subscription-based service. But I'm quite happy with my one-off old-school original version, which I don't think is available anymore. Beyond There is a great space simulator where you can perform the entire moon landing from liftoff to return. I think I might have downloaded that about 15 years ago. It had like some weird space plane on it as well, but I know someone replicated the Apollo missions on it. Anthony Velio, you've done 22 moon round trips for me over 50 years. I've got some way to go. Very cool, buddy. Kate Foster, Captain, do you have a preference piloting day or night? Preferably day, so you can see the thunderstorms before you fly to them. Davia's having your dinner now. See you in a bit. Enjoy your dinner, buddy. I'll do my best to try and ramp up the average for this month's landing rates. No, it actually wasn't Kerbal Space Program I was talking about. David Ryder's right. Orbital Space Simulator. That was the one I downloaded 15 years ago. Lee Russell, is that not what a weather radar's for? Yeah, I was only in jest. Yes, it is quite right at night. But when certain parts of the world you fly in, you get this. When there's no moon, you get this horrible black hole. You can't see the horizon. So I mean, it really doesn't bother me. But ideally, I like to fly in the day. I prefer flying in the day. I should say. Robert S, just want to say thanks to you. I started my first license recently. You're doing your LAPL. Now, is this the one, Robert S, for light aircraft? I'm having to look that up myself. So PP on LAPL, that's the one to fly little light aircraft. That's, yeah, light aircraft pilot license. That's very cool. I can't blame you at all with the cost of running. I think someone was comparing in Discord earlier the cost of running a Cessna to some of the lighter aircraft available. And I know some of these light aircraft. I've got a colleague at work who flies these ultralights, and they've got fantastic performance. They cruise around at 80-90 knots. They can climb at 2,000 feet per minute. It's incredible. But fantastic, Robert S. Good luck. Well, I feel very honoured that you're inspired by the channel to do that. That's very cool. Miss DW, how was your experience when you first became captain? Yeah, it was okay. Very daunting. And I've always said this, and I always continue to say this, you never stop learning. So, you know, there's not a single pilot that can claim that he knows his trade in and out. But yeah, you just take your time. My time as an SFI, or we call a synthetic flight instructor, was very beneficial. Taught me so much more beyond what I'd say a normal line pilot perhaps would know, but don't get me wrong, most line pilots work extremely hard and have all the core knowledge you'd ever need, but SFI really, you know, enhanced the knowledge I had. But yeah, it's you know, my first few hundred hours when you're at the airline I work for, you're quite limited within your operation to what you can do, so you can't go to any what's classed as difficult airports essentially, so you're only going to kind of busier large airports, ILS both ends. For example, where we're flying to today would be very unlikely to be classed as what we call a category A airfield, a safe airfield or an easy airfield to operate into. So you can't do that for the first 100 hours, no visual approaches either. There's some other limitations as well. You can't also fly with a new first officer for your first 100 hours. And by the time you've done your first 100, you're a little bit, well, I say a little bit, but you're a lot more confident and comfortable. But yeah, I've touched wood, captain for 2 years now, but I've got a lot less hours than say we'd expect to have with 2 years experience now due to the coronavirus pandemic. I mean, how many hours did I fly this year? That's actually a really good point. Let's have a look. I mean, typically in a normal year I'd fly 700-800 plus hours. This year, just give me 2 seconds, I'll tell you total time by year. 2020, I have flown 207 hours. That is just balmy. That's how many hours I've flown. Most I've ever flown in a year is 849. That was in 2014. I then did 774 in 2015, 695 in 2016. But that does include time in the simulator. That was when I was an instructor. But yeah, 207 hours. So I'm kind of 4 times less the amount of hours flown this year than I typically do in a normal year. Crazy. Listen to me, I think I flew more in X-Plane than I certainly have. I think I've definitely flown more hours in X-Plane than real life this year. It's crazy. Boatboy title top of descent, 226 miles, so I think it's around time we'll start setting up for the approach here. Brian, generally in airline training simulators, do you practice single pilot management due to emergencies with a co-pilot? Very occasionally it comes around, Brian. We'll look at pilot incapacitation. So yes, typically it happens to the first officer. So, well, the captain becomes incapacitated. They want to look at the first officer, see how he manages the single pilot situation, because usually a captain would have the experience to hopefully deal with that. So yeah, very serious situation. Mandatory mayday. Land at the nearest suitable airport. Take care. Depending on the condition of the incapacitated pilot, they either stay in the seat or they're resuscitated in the cabin. Awful, really. But yeah, I know people where it's happened to them. They've either been incapacitated or flown with someone who became incapacitated. But we're trained to deal with those situations. Right. Anyway, so we're going to set up and brief this approach a little bit earlier than usual. In fact, turn the music off for this. I always try to, whenever we are on a stream, to take the time to really give you a detailed brief, but more so today because we don't have the distractions from VATSIM, which is quite nice. So we'll hand over control to Jim, start setting up for the approach into La Palma. So we'll get the code up here, Golf Charlie, Lima Alpha. And once I've got it all set up, we'll brief it in full. So the process I follow is exactly how we'd set up this approach in real life as well. I'll get the charts out first. So we're going to be flying a Turto 2 Alpha, which I can't see. Did I see? Correct airport.
50, 40,
Yes.
30, 20.
Thank you very much,
10.
Ian Paris, for the €10 there. Very kind of you, sir.
Good evening, Captain. Hope you're both doing well and had a great Christmas regardless of the circumstances.
Thank you.
Here's to a better year. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Ian. Thank you very much for your continued support as a member as well, and for that generous donation. Here is to better times for everyone, not just everyone in the aviation industry, for all of you here as well, who are no doubt being disrupted by this terrible pandemic. But thank you very much, Ian. That's very much appreciated. Cool. So, Turto 2 Alpha, that's what I'm looking for. I didn't see that on the charts there. So, arrival. That's because I didn't actually select arrival, did I? Turto 2 Alpha. There it is. Continuous descent arrival, so they've actually built that around you. Flying a CDA. We're actually about to fly over Turto imminently, so we're actually going to be on the star very shortly, but it's a very long star today. Approach is going to be the NDB for runway 36, and the airport code. Sorry, the airport information's here, so we're going to have to backtrack. Lovely. I actually better just check the weather, because this airport, it very much favours the approach onto runway 36 because it's the only inch approach lined with the runway. Otherwise you have to do a circling approach here. Now, just looking at the surface wind here, it is a tailwind for departure, but they do say on the chart they'll use runway 36 up to a 10 knot tailwind. Right now it's 1908, so it is going to be an 8 knot tailwind, but that is within confines and in limits. Now, at my operator and most operators, if there's a certain airport you fly into where they have a preferential runway, they'll take a tailwind up to potentially up to 15 knots to land on, because usually to switch on to the other runway there's either no instrument approach or a very difficult, challenging approach. So you'll see it in the approach chart when I brief it, the information regarding accepting a tailwind. So 250 below 100 forecast winds, which you'll find on the descent forecast page of the OFP. It is, so I'm going to punch all this in. 310, 200, 100. Winds 265 at 94, so it's a mighty headwind for us. 200, 259 at 48. And 100's 199 at 15. QNH right now in La Palma is 1012. And it is a pleasant 21 degrees Celsius, so +6 on the ISA. Right here it is, find the page, -1, so it's probably about +3 on average. That's executed. Fixed rings. Now, on the legs page, you usually fly the runway point. You'll see here there is no runway point coded. Quite common on non-precision approaches like the NDB, because they build the approach based off the missed approach, which here doesn't actually start over the runway threshold at minimums. The minimums are quite high and quite far out, so you actually have to manually type in this case, runway 36. Because it knows you're flying to La Palma in the FMS, it'll already know that it presumes runway 36 for you. We're going to have a 10 mile ring, 4 mile ring, even though we're going to configure a lot earlier today, based off the
50,
approach. It's just to
40,
the situation
30,
where we're at
20,
35,000 feet,
10.
so that's 105, 3 times that, so roughly we're on top of December will start.
Refund for the mug a while ago, long time
Refund?
no see, Captain. Hope you both are fine. Merry Christmas.
Oh, we've only just been chatting, Robert S. Thanks to the €5. Refund for the mug a while ago. What do you mean a refund? Long time no see, Captain. Hope you both are fine. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, Robert S. What's refund you on about though? Did you win a mug in a giveaway and I gave you a bit extra? I can't remember. Thank you very much, Robert S. Regardless, for your donation and yeah, I don't know what to say to that one. Merry Christmas to you as well. Forecast fixed rings are in. Definitely in Human chat. Oh, thanks, Flight Deck. Thanks, Mariana. Robert S., you must excuse me. We do quite a few giveaways here. Mariana's just reminded me you did win a giveaway. Yeah, sometimes with the merch giveaways, the best way I find, because Teespring stupidly doesn't have a system of sending vouchers, so I usually transfer via PayPal the funds to cover the cost of that. So I usually like to round it up to any giveaway winners. So thanks a lot, Robert. That was very uncalled for. So 1012 set, fixed rings are in, that's pretty much the FMS loaded. We'll need to check the rest shortly. Let's now have a look here at the airport charts. Here's our arrival then, we're already on it, the Turto 2 Alpha. Let's slowly step through that.
50, 40,
You can actually use the lands for the VR if you wish, but there's
20,
no point, so we'll need it for the approach. Excellent. Oh, days, Anthony. Ugh.
Hey Captain, was waiting to catch a live stream to support the channel. Hope you had a great Xmas.
Thank
Also
you.
hope you're not costing Alpaca Airlines too much on fuel after putting on those extra Xmas pounds. Donation towards gym subs, lol.
Anthony Murphy, 10 out of 10 for that comment. Thank you so much for your donation there. Very generous, €40. We've had a great Christmas, all things considered. And yes, Alpaca Airways fuel bill will be probably 0.4% higher based off the increased weight of the crew from this what we should say is grazing during the Christmas period. So thank you so much, Anthony, for your continued support. Very, very kind of you. Very, very much so. Mariana, we're going to have to join the gym. Thank you very much. Fly deck to gym, you got it, Bjorn. Very, very kind. So we're punching our way via Lanzarote. Look at that, it even tells you 245 miles to threshold of runway 36. That's quite unusual on a chart. I don't often see that. From Lanzarote, we'll be then flying overhead Tenerife North. Via Laris first then, and there's Tenerife North, right over the top of the island. Then to Texel, and then to our initial approach which is Araco. Now what I'm going to do at Araco is, it's quite common in Spain, and because I believe that's the start of the approach here, I'm going to bring the speed back to 220 knots. Now ICAO actually recommends after the initial approach 6 you should be doing 220 knots anyway, and you'll find that we're going to still be this high. I don't want to be really going 250 to fly this arc here, so I'm going to bring the speed all the way back to 220 knots at Araco. So you have to often fiddle with SID stars, but essentially that's the routing. There's no altitude restrictions at all associated with that, just minimum levels, so 7070 and 4,500 feet above. Look, we're going to be at 9.2 at Araco anyway. So that's the arrival. We've got the NDB approach here, so always start at the top of the briefing strip here to have everything set up. So it's an NDB approach, and it'll be 389, which is active, and we'll select ADF on the EFIS select panel, and also select ADF here. Final approach course is 350. Straight away, take a note of this. Final approach track for the runway 004 degrees, but the final approach course is 350, so that is 14-degree offset approach, which doesn't make it very clear on Jefferson. There it is. Final approach track offset 14 degrees from runway centerline. Why on earth is that, you'd be wondering? Well, look at this. If you have a straight-in approach, you're getting very, very close to the mountains on the side here. So they've offset it, so basically come in on a different radial inbound to the NDB, so you don't get close to the terrain there. So that's what you have to be very careful about. And you can see, look, it kind of gives you a dashed line, which is the rest of your track towards the runway. So tune up 389, which we've done. Course is a 350 based off the final approach course. Makes absolutely no difference to the aircraft system setting up here, but we always set, as a reminder, the final approach course for the approach on the courses. Height check then at 8.5 miles, 3,400 feet. This Maltese cross represents the final approach fix of the approach, so at this point here, if you're flying a light aircraft, you maintain 3,400. The 737 is able to fly CDA, so essentially we just want to make sure that we're at or above 3,400 at this point, and being the FAF, it's based on off a 3.25 degree slope from that point, so as long as you've coded it in the FMS, it can be at or above, that's okay. For certain RNAV approaches it does need to be a hard altitude. So that's set via Foxtrot Quebec 36, which represents the final approach fix. We then go down a slope in 3.25 degrees, which is VNAV in our case. It actually has that programmed here. That's again why ZIBO is so good, because it actually looks at and calculates like the real aircraft the correct vertical profile. Whilst we go down, we're checking our height against distance, which we have a little table here for. We cross-check that against the altimeter. Should be pretty much the same. Very important though, you have the correct QNH set. In doing so, it doesn't actually make any difference here. It will still read the same height with distance, but you've got to have it set, otherwise you're going to be at or below your vertical profile there. So the QNH in La Palma is 1012, which is very important that, as a reminder, you preset that here. and we can actually see a little bit of, well, this is the true Earth scenery for the Canary Islands. What do you reckon, guys? Do you want me to crank the time back a little bit so we can enjoy that approach? Let me know. We're still very far from top of descent here because we can't see anything. Trust me, guys, it is beautiful, and ORBX, as you well know, makes beautiful scenery. I think we should just probably do another flight, another stream. You know what, if I'm not flying on Monday, I'll probably do another stream now. We'll have a look around here, we'll do something else. I'll have a look here. Very good evening. Light it up, said Boy Boy. I'll see what else people say here. Let's carry on with the approach briefing for now. So yes, there's the final approach fix. Down we go, 3.25 degrees. Now, it was our friend here, I can't remember who it was asking about the visibility minimums of what to use here. So this is a very important part of any instrument approach here, is you've got to make sure you can legally fly it. This is where RVR comes into fruition here. So I don't know, I've never seen an R in front of the figure here, but that is 5,000 meters visibility essentially. If the visibility was less than this, we can't actually fly that approach. So yeah, fine today. Visibility is in excess of 10,000 meters. And now you could fly a visual approach if this seems really strange. If the visibility was 4,000 meters, you could actually elect to fly a visual approach, which doesn't take that into account, and it's above the RVR requirement. That would be a strange one to do. So basically, we're fine for today. We're Category C aircraft, so our minimums are at 1,600 feet. Now, as it's a non-precision approach, at my operator, we have to add 40 feet to this height. This just means that we never actually get below this point in the event of a missed approach if we're not visual. Because with the inertia of the aircraft descending, when you push toga, it'll initially still descend around 20-30 feet or so, so we add 40 feet to ensure we never get below what's known as the MDA, minimum descent altitude. So that's set. And then we're going to carry on. We're doing down to the minimums. If we have to go around, push toga, could go around flat 15, set ground for us, positive rate, climb gear up 400 feet. We're going to go LNAV, and it's based off going around at the missed approach point, which is at 3.2 miles. So if you're not visual, you don't actually get anywhere near the runway. You make an immediate right turn, look, 028 degrees at the missed approach point, so 3.2 DME, which you'll have here. Oh, actually, we won't have it because I haven't tuned it yet. 12.4. There we are. And we'll climb straight ahead 028, and then we'll off the Bravo Victor 236. We'll go 056 to the Bravo X-ray NDB. From the NDB, sorry, we don't go back around. From the NDB to Nassau, the northeast there, so it's based off that NDB radial. Climbed to 3,000 feet, join the holding. So that's that. Now, when it comes to flying non-precision approaches, we've briefed the chart, make sure it's still there, but we need to actually discuss with the other pilot how are we going to fly this approach, you know, what modes we're going to use, how we're going to configure, because every approach is very unique, so you can't just do like a generic briefing in this case. So at my operator, when we fly what we call non-precision approaches, we have to be very sure on that, but you know, obviously as pilot flying, but also Jim next to us knows exactly what we're going to be doing at each stage as well. So my operator, you know, what we do is essentially, after we brief the chart, make sure it's happy with the information, what we need to do. We actually brief how we're going to fly it. So we'd simply say, for example, you know, we make sure we have everything independently set, the minimums, the QNH. We have to make sure we've made any corrections to the altitudes if it's cold, because if it's below freezing, there could be altimetry errors when using non-precision approaches. We have to correct all altitudes below the MSA when it's less than 0 degrees. We then review the configuration sequence, so that's something we can do together, guys. So what we're going to do, we'll fly this arc. We're going to be 220 knots by Araco on this initial approach fix. Now I'm a little bit concerned that it's not actually depicted this as an arc on the mod. It looks like a straight line, so we'll carefully monitor that. But you'll see here it is 3.25 degrees. Now a standard approach path is 3 degrees. Now you'd be saying, well, 3 degrees, 3.25, that's a difference of 0.25. That's really, you know, negligible, but you'd be quite surprised how much of a difference that would actually make on an aircraft like the 73. Not only that, if you look at the forecast wind, we've got a 10 knot tailwind, and that does not help with your approach profile. So something you'd be probably considering in this brief as a, we'd say, a threat I perhaps consider using flat 10 on the approach just to keep the speed under control. So I'll probably demonstrate that today. If we hold at flat 5 as we go around the corner, the speed might start running away from you, so something to bear in mind. So I'd be briefing to Jim, right, okay Jim, I'm going to select flat 1, flat 5 before turning final. I want to be 180 knots before turning final here, so let's see if we can change that here at Charlie Quebec 36. That's saying 201. Okay, let's bring that speed back so we can manage any excessive energy. 180 knots. There we are. VNAV will plan for that and give us a new GCLA point to make 180. We'll configure the flap saw. We then discuss where the final approach fix is. So at 8.5 miles at my operator, this pilot monitoring brings to the attention of pilot flying when you're 2 miles from the FAF. He'll tell you, okay, we're approaching our descent point, and we need to then ensure that on the MCP we've set this near to the nearest 100 feet above. So we've got 1640. We'd actually set 1700 feet on the MCP. We then verify we have VNAV engaged with VNAV path, the speed window is open. And then it's very important the final approach fix to configure, or call the final approach fix, make sure the height is correct there. As we go down, we'll probably select the landing flap, which will be flat 40 today, quite a short runway. And the missed approach point is quite high, so you know how I always say we'll typically configure at 4 miles. Well, there's no point configuring at 4 miles because we'll have passed the missed approach point already, so we're going to configure quite early. So what I'm going to do is, after we've passed the final approach fix at 8.5 dB, I'm actually going to configure straight away, gear down flat 15, continue configuring, then the landing flap as well. We'll then select the missed approach altitude at a slightly different height. We'd usually select the missed approach at 1,000 feet AGL. Well, there's no point doing that today because we're already going to be above that with the minimums, very high minimums today. So actually, you want to be setting the missed approach altitude when you're more than 300 feet below your missed approach altitude. Otherwise, the FMS or the MCP will level off. You've got to be quite careful with that. So missed approach altitude is 3,000 feet, so when we're below 2,700 we can set the missed approach altitude, so it's something to bear in mind when you're flying approaches with very high minima. If you don't, the aircraft will level off at whatever you have on the MCP. Landing gate today, visual, be 500 feet, and we'll disconnect
50,
before getting close
40,
to the runway.
30.
And what we'll need to do is recycle the flight directors, okay? If you leave the flight directors on, it's going to be really annoying because you'll see the flight directors won't take you. Give me 2 seconds, whoever that was, thank you. You'll notice, look, the approach terminates at the missed approach point, and then actually the missed approach point takes us away from the runway. Where you leave the flight directors on, you know, pilots were stupid. You know, we like to follow guidance. The magenta line is going to go, the flight director line is going to go right. It's going to level off, and we're going to follow it like a donkey follows a carrot. I'm joking. So make sure prior to the missed approach point you recycle the flight directors, get rid of them because they're not going to provide any useful information today after the missed approach point. So yeah, that's essentially it with regards to that. Thank you very much, Kieran. Have you reached the MDA plus 40? Have you ever reached the MDA plus 40, initiated a missed approach, and then after pushing toga, then seen the runway? Bet that would be annoying if you technically didn't ever get below the MDA. I haven't ever done that. I have done missed approaches, but non-position approaches, I'd say, you know, 95% of approaches I do are on ILS, so it's not usually an issue. So I've never gone around off a non-position approach. Regardless of the approach, Kieran, if you commit to going around and push toga, and you see the runway, that's it. You're going around. You can't initiate going around and then quickly change your mind. You're on your way, essentially. So yes, if you had pushed toga and you saw the runway, as frustrating as it is, go for the missed approach and have another go. And if you're quite certain it'll get in, then no problem. But yes, there you go. Thanks for your donation. Cool. So that's pretty much everything brief there. I hope that makes sense. Landing performance then. Guys, look at this! Look at this lovely ORBX scenery. It's getting cloudy as well. I'm sure we'll have time to look at it later. Lastly, we just need to do the performance. Here's the runway then. It's plenty short enough. 2,200 meters is the length. Landing distance available beyond the threshold is 2,058 meters. So yeah, long enough. Not the hugest of runways. And it's down slope, just from personal experience, but I don't know where to pick that on a Jefferson chart. Where's the slope? We have different charts on my operator. Is it on the approach chart? It's not. I know it's on one of the charts somewhere. We'll read the airport briefing. But runway 36, it's 2,200 metres. It is downslope, which increases your landing distance. There's nowhere to exit, so we'll go to the end, do a 180 backtrack, vacate via Charlie. So let's now have a look at the performance calculator. So Gran Canaria, runway 36, dry. Also affecting our landing performance today is our tailwind. So right now, surface wind is 190 at 7. So it is going to be around a 7 knot tailwind. There you go. Temperature is 20 degrees. QNH is 1012. Let's have a look at our landing weight. So reserves fuel-wise, we're with 2.8 tons. We need 2.3 for Tenerife, so we've got around 15 minutes. Just typical. We take standard fuel, and we're going to be burning 900 kilos. So our landing weight is going to be 61.3. So there you go, flap 40, order brake 3, I think that's going to do us, and we can disconnect the brakes manually, roll to the end there, so we'll use flap 40, order brake 3, 1646 of 2088 available. So let's put that in here, flap 40, order brake 3, we'll use second detent reverse and brake cooling. Whoa, there's a little bit of a wind change, that's really cool. So order throttles change that, brought the thrust back there, so I think the headwind's just increased there. And that's it, that's the approach briefing complete. That was pretty much, I do that every sector, but I took the time there, obviously without the distractions on VATSIM, to go into a little bit more detail about how it all looks, and hope you found that interesting. Very good, so 1820 now, 1856, it's getting dark. I thought it said the sunset was... The sun's already set in the sim. I don't know if the day's changed in the simulator, but I feel I like it to be a little bit more daytime. I didn't actually look at what the preferences were earlier regarding when I said day there. Go ahead, crack back the timer now, knock it back a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to knock it back. I know it's going to be really annoying because I'm going to have to pause the simulator, because when you're running live time you can't change it in the iOS unless you pause the sim. I'll put some music on so we avoid the awkward silence. A bit unrealistic, but here we go. I hate doing this. Oh no, we pressed the wrong one. I hate doing this in the sim. Let's knock it back 3 hours. There we go. I know it's not realistic, but I want to at least enjoy the scenery and approach there a little bit more. If anyone's joined, we're just running the sim 3 hours behind live time. There's a key combination. Is there a list of in? I'm not sure. Well, imagine we didn't pause it. I hate pausing it. I will promise you, forever I'm running this channel, that whenever we're streaming, I'm never going to pause it. I'm never going to add fuel in flight. I'm never going to cancel a failure. You know, if we get low on fuel, we'll divert. I always like to run it exactly as it would be done in real life. I'll always fly it with a mouse if we have complete control failure. Like in the A300 about 3 weeks ago. The only problem is we've flown over. What's that down there? I think there's a little bit of that beautiful scenery, but next thing's going to be weather, because right now it's only it's actually some towering cumulus around the park. How lovely! It's now going to be cloudy, isn't it? LEH hand fly raw data today. I'm going to be flying it like I would do on the line, but if you check out last stream LEH, after we did a crash, I demonstrated a complete raw data procedural approach. So check out the last stream of the ZIBO mod. Rayman Ramen Noodles says, "Are you a real pilot? I've got an emoji just for you." Yes. I think the scenery's just a bit shy, I know, but I want to run live weather at least. But yes, when we get down to Gran Canaria, but yeah, as I said, the TrueEarth scenery includes all the islands, not all the airports, but they do include our destination. La Palma is included in the scenery. I should actually read the blurb from them, but as I said, we all know how good ORBX scenery is, but it is on promotion for the first few days of release here. So all 9 Canary Islands. Right now you can buy it for £20.42, and it's on sale. It's that they don't often release something and put it straight onto a sale. 231, have you ever had a situation when you were chasing the sun and couldn't rest, for example? Not really. I mean, I don't really want to rest in the flight deck, and I don't fly long haul, so we don't have, you know, allocated rest periods on the flight, so no need. You've got it, Xavier Bella. Check, close, hold. Pad Dog, I'm flying the King Air in X-Plane, and I kid you not, I have a fuel truck hanging off the side. Bad Dog, you should check out the start of this stream. After we push back, all the ground equipment decided to connect to the aircraft again. It's as if I've forgotten something. Andy M71, if you remember on approach, can you give some hints regarding tracking the sense line on approach, please? Yeah, within the confines of the desktop simulator, it's a little different in real life, but I'll do my best. I always try to talk, regardless of the approach, what we're looking at and what we're doing. Biggie Weeb, you're taking the 727 for a first spin. Wish me luck. Good luck with that. Don't fire all the thrust levers, Biggie Weeb, though, otherwise the engines will surge. HMS Dairy, I've watched that tutorial so many times, still getting consistent landings. Guess the buses are reserved for the fly gods. Absolutely not, HMS Dairy. Trust me, on the line we generally land quite consistently good, but you always have one landing where you just say, oops, bang. Angel, do you fly in real weather 99.9% of the time? Yes, we're live weather now, and in the sim. Most of the time, live time, we just cranked it back a couple of hours so we can enjoy the scenery on the approach. Will Bewley, one of my, I'm not going to say members, one of my youngest, brutiest members, what did he say? I completely missed that one. Thank you very much, Will. You'll have to post in chat what you said there. Thank you very much, Matt Lundell, for your membership as well. Welcome aboard. Glad you're enjoying the content. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat, and we'll get you invited to the members only Discord as well. I couldn't think of a word for Will. Will could be a little bit mischievous sometimes. He's getting better. But thank you very much, Will, regardless of buying the Alpaca Airways hoodie. Captain Monster, what will happen when you lose all the flight controls in the flight sim cat mouse? Be a backup system. I presume you haven't seen that A300 stream. We did use it. We had to use the mouse to land. It's crazy. JJ's didn't read what Will's message. Don't read message down because he was trying to think of ways to describe it. The problem is, on Streamlabs, which I have on the side here, even if I have the screen full size, I can't see the message come up. It doesn't have any message associated with a merchandise purchase come up on the feed, whereas on a super chat or a donation via Streamlabs it does, which is a real pain because there's often messages tied to it. Will said, I was scrolling through Teespring and saw this hoodie and thought, ooh, this is going straight in my basket. Thanks, Will. Fair enough. Very kind of you. I look forward to seeing you wear that hoodie whilst you're playing on the racing game with us in Discord. Mr. EW, are you very talkative with your FO in the real cockpit? I have a friend, Airbus pilot, who won't shut up whilst in the cruise. Obviously, Mr. EW, we don't motor on all day. I've certainly flown with people who do motor on, and it can be on a long sector, 4 hours each way, it can be a bit tiring, but obviously I don't want someone who's going to sit there and say nothing, so it's a fine balance. Usually you get a bit of a hint from the other guy when they want a bit of chill time. They usually pick up the iPad or do something else, so yes, all within reason. Rob DeBeck says best wishes 2021. Stay safe, healthy, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself as well, Rob DeBeck. Where did we depart from? Seville or Sevilla. So there is. Anyway, if we squint through the cloud, you can see a little bit of the ORBX scenery. There is Tenerife. And as we descend, we'll hopefully have a little bit of the coastline on the left here. But all of these islands are included with the scenery, every single one of them. I think it'll be worthwhile jumping into a Seneca and doing some IR flying
40,
between the two.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Ranger. Very generous £25 donation.
As a real-life Mel with an instrument rating who can't afford to fly, I enjoy your channel. And love the parts when the autopilot is off. I took my tests with NDB holds and approaches real flying.
Well, thank you very much, Ranger, for your very generous donation. I mean, I'm sorry that you can't fly at the moment as well. I mean, I'd rather you sending that generous donation, you save that on the side and get yourself some flying as well. I mean, if you're flying multi-engine, I know how. Well, I only ever flew multi-engine as part of my training. I never actually did it recreationally, but it's a fortune, I know, to run a multi-engine aircraft or have any sort of flying there. But thank you so much for your kind donation. I'm so happy the channel, you can enjoy that, and you enjoy the parts where I fly. Well, you'll like this approach because we'll disconnect quite early. We'll need to, otherwise the autopilot's going to yank us around on the missed approach. And have a look at our last stream as well, Ranger, where we flew the 737 procedurally with the flight directors off, which was quite good fun. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. And you took your test doing NDB holds and approaches. I did the same thing at Oxford. NDB approach, circling approach, manually flown with the well, not the hood. We had full visors up on the old Seneca 2s there, but that was great fun. But take care of yourself, Ranger. Thank you very much for your donation. Plainly, yes, very beautiful clouds. Well, I don't look there. You can squint through there. That you can see. There is a little bit of North Tenerife. I think is that La Gomera? Sure, let's have a little bit of a stapler view. Speedbird Aviation, ground speed 355 knots. Ouch, I know. Not great. Oh, Miguel, I've never been so glad of such a headwind. It makes the stream last longer. Oh, thanks. Right, there's top of descent anyway. Reset MCP altitude, so what we'll do, let's have a look at our arrival. We'll go straight down to 70, that's the minimum descent level for this next sector. Obviously this will be done by ATC usually. And smash your top of descents down in Shan. That's a good point. Cost index 100, what's our target descent speed? That's actually a bit off. I wonder if ZIBO's changed that. Now, I've done cost index 100 descent, and I'm pretty sure in all 737s it's 320 knots. Gives you 320, which is obviously very fast. And what you often have to do in the real aircraft, if you're descending at cost index 100, is actually bring the speed back a little bit because it sits on the barber's pole all the way down at VMO. I think it might be 330. I can't remember, so you have to be very careful. But it's gone for 290, which is actually alright. That's probably the speed I want to be flying, but it's going to maintain decimal 8 eventually, and then it will convert to 290 once the indicated airspeed increases. So we'll just keep a close eye on it. It's gone to VNAV speed. That's very unusual. Why is it VNAV speed and not VNAV path? I've just cycled the speed window, but it should have gone straight into path anyway. Tim Skipper, how often do you get a cost index of 100? Not often, usually, as we mentioned at the start, if there's some sort of curfew or airport. A lot of airports have strict curfews, especially ones in Germany, so you have to be back at a certain time. If not, they simply won't accept a landing clearance. So if we're running late, you can often have one there. Unusual to have them, because obviously increased fuel burn costs more money for the operator. No, it's gone. I'm not sure. It reverted to speed straight away, but back into VNAV path now. Looking great. I love the ORBX series. You'll see how nice it looks around La Palma. The weather's not so bad there, but there is Tenerife North. So tempting to turn the clouds off. It's so cloudy. What's going on? Trying my best to highlight the scenery for you.
Fifty, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Pete S, for the fiver. Very kind of you, sir.
In celebration of my first gold stripe, thanks for sharing the
Oh.
knowledge and their entertainment.
Well, thank you very much, Pete S, and thank you very much for your time as a member. Pete, are you in Discord? If you remember, your name doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid. But if you're not, get you in there as soon as possible. And if you are, I'm sorry I've not recognised you. I mean, we've got so many members now. But thank you very much, buddy, for your time as a member and for your donation. They're very, very kind. Tim Skipper, thanks. Is there a typical value, or does it depend on a number of factors? Yeah, 100. You can actually, I think, select a cost index higher than that, but
40,
it
30,
tops out at 330
20,
knots, I think, at
10.
decimal 80% anyway. So it's not much point in selecting a higher one.
Merry Christmas, Captain Mariana and Jack. Here's some dollar towards some vino, some Kit Kat, and some jumbones for Jack. Thanks for all the education.
Thank you very much, TF2Aviate, for the £5 donation. You've been around quite a lot of the last few streams, so thank you very much. We're making sure that we get a nice bottle of wine. Some Kit Kats, that's definitely for me and not Mariana. And jumbo bones for Jack, you'll love that. Thank you very much, buddy. Brilliant. Oh, I didn't do a PA, did I? Oh, well, technically, shouldn't really do one descent as we're on our way down, but I'm so sorry to ORBX. How do I don't want to turn it off. If I turn the weather off, I'm going to lose a 74 knot headwind. It's going to be outrageously bad. Oh dear. Keep looking out this window for now. Do you ever watch the Dakar 44 meme reviews of the F1 races on YouTube? I don't. Hans, if I remember correctly, the highest cost index you can select in the NG is 200 and 500 in the Classic. Well, it's all a bit trivial though, because anything above, I think it's like 85 or 100, or 100 for sure, anything above it's the same. Very subtle difference perhaps, but I've never selected anything higher than 100. Gear Mag 411, how much preparation goes into a VATSIM flight? Yeah, a little bit more preparation than it would say without, but with practice and repetition you'll get better. Obviously those guys are wanting you to fly the aircraft as realistically as possible in a realistic environment. But I file my flight plans using SimBrief, which is how I use all my flight plans, or generate all my flight plans in desktop simulators, because in comparison to SimBrief, where this flight plan format, Lido, if I can remember where to find it, this one here, is the same as my operators. So I've compared these just out of curiosity with an actual flight plan I've been going on, and the fuel figures, like within 10 kilos. It's incredible. I don't know how Mr. SimBrief or Mrs. SimBrief, or whoever they are, does it. Or has access to, but the data you get is identical to the real flight plan. It really is. And basically going back to your question, how do you plan for VATSIM? You use that flight plan, you can pre-file a flight plan with VATSIM using that, gives you all the information you need, choose your call sign, file it, and then log on to the network. You could remove the cloud layer and keep all the remaining weather info. I'll leave it now, Gastro. It looks like it's clearing up ahead anyway, but Tenerife's looking great. Maybe if I fly past here, I can probably descend, but I don't want to get too far from the aircraft because it could cause a bug or an issue of some sorts. But it's safe to say that I won't. Well, I'm not going to say it yet. Everything seems to be running smoothly so far in the sim. I've done the last 5 flights on Xpilot. Each time it's crashed, not using Xpilot. Or the last 2 times I've not used Xpilot, it doesn't crash. So yeah, they couldn't point an issue towards it, but for me, it's something's conflicting. Old Mark perfectly answered what VNAV speed does. Yeah, VNAV speed is like level change, but it will comply with restrictions in the FMS, but seldom use it really. I will certainly showcase La Palma for you, because we are going to do the giveaway after landing. So VNAV's holding the path. Remember the vertical profile, speed's a little bit low. Can't be true to the real aircraft doing that. We'll keep a close eye on that. One thing you can do, I'm not sure if it works with the ZIBO, if you actually bring the active waypoint to the top and get it executed, it takes your present wind into account to recalculate your descent profile. The mod doesn't do that,
50,
it just bases
40,
it off your
30,
index.
20, 10.
Thank you, Mr. EW, for the $5. Very generous of you, sir.
Thank you for your awesome streams. I wonder if the landing weight will be excess today, due to the extra full tummies on board from the Christmas food.
Thank you very much, Mr. EW, for the for the $5 donation, taking into account the extra weight of the passengers today. We took an extra 50 kilos. Thank you very much, very generous of you. So I hope you had a great Christmas as well. We presume that all passengers weigh 84 kilos when we calculate our gross weight performance, which is a standard gross weight taken, I think, pretty much in Europe for all operators. So we're taking a simulated 177 passengers we took today. Regardless of their actual weight, we don't weigh you at the check-in desk, we don't ever ask for your weight. We presume everyone weighs 84 kilos, which is a very conservative figure. Times it by 177, and then any, obviously, checked-in bags, cargo, and all of that equates to something called the traffic load. And that's added, obviously, to the zero fuel weight. Well, the zero fuel weight incorporates the traffic load, but the operating weight of the aircraft on top of the traffic load is your zero fuel weight, which is what's important when it calculates. We need to calculate the weight of the aircraft. Done. Yes, I did put the seatbelt sign on. Anyway, there is La Palma straight ahead. Looking good. First ever time streaming into here. In fact, I've actually done a tutorial there. I think I actually demonstrated this approach in the PMDG NGX many years ago. I think it was it. But yeah, had to make very little input into the aircraft so far, just like you would in real life too, if you're staying in the same profile approach. Boz, does the 84 kilos include an estimate for carry-on bags? Yes, that takes into account checked in.
40,
sorry, your
30,
carry-on bag.
20,
Checked in bags,
10.
13 kilos per bag is presumed. Thanks again, Passenger Escobar.
Hey, I resent that. Are you calling me fat?
Thank you very much to Passenger Escobar. Is that you, Escobar? I don't know. One of our passengers on bad here wasn't too happy with me calling them Tubby, but thank you very much. £7.36. In fact, it's you, Passenger Escobar. Came up as Escobat, but I'm not sure why. But, thank you very much. There we are. It's approaching the decel point to get to 250 knots. Next decel point will be for Araco to make 220. And we'll now do the post-cruise checks. So, fuel 4 pumps. We've got 3 tons on board. Lights will turn on. APU's off. Pressurization 3.5. That's all set. Seatbelt sign is on. Recall. There we are. Checks complete. I got a funny feeling I didn't update the Nightbot info about what version of the ZIBO mod I'm using. I'm just thinking now. No, I didn't. I'm basically Nightbot is lying to you. I'm actually using. I forgot to update that completely. I'm around 31 at the moment.
50, 40, 30.
Thanks a lot, Andy M71 for the fiver.
10.
Very kind of you.
Happy Boxing Day to all. A shout out Mark Smith, who completed his first flight on Vatson today and did brilliantly. Also, please could you give some tips for tracking the center line
When you said that,
when
Andy.
flying visually on the approach, so I know where I need to practice? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Andy M71, for the £5 donation. So firstly, as you mentioned, Mark Smith, who's recently joined as a member, or I think might have been here for a few months already, but I did know he was asking questions about it. I didn't know he did his first flight on Vatson today, but congratulations to you, Mark, for completing that, I guess, with Andy and a few of the other guys, so well done to you. And I'll do, as I mentioned earlier, Andy, my best to say what we're doing with the centre line, especially today as it's offset. But thank you very much, nonetheless, for your donation there. Right, so we went to 250 knots. The aircraft is now complying in VNAV to make the next restriction, which is to be 220 knots at Araco, and that's the end of the arrival. There's the initial approach fix. We've got 32 miles till touchdown. And now we can descend down. We went to 1 mile before. We can step down to the next altitude. Ah, yes. So it would appear, for some reason, it was working in previous versions, but ZIBO, I don't know if it's a ZIBO mod, it might be how Navigraph has actually coded this approach, but that is incorrect. Look how it's a straight line. We should be actually flying a bit of a DME arc here, 16 miles, which it looks like it is not going to do. So it looks like we might go within 16 miles, but we can now descend down to 4,500 feet. Hope you're all enjoying this lovely ORBX scenery today. I think ORBX TrueEarth speaks for itself, though. I've got it pretty much for all of the sceneries now. So yes, what the aircraft should be doing now is flying a little bit past this point here. It's cut the corner, so it's actually treated it as a fly past, not a fly over waypoint. So this is completely wrong. We're outside the 16 miles. So we should be doing, you see this RMI here, we should be making a right turn, getting that tracking 90 degrees, and then you'll see that you're within your 16 mile point, but for the sake of a mile or so, we'll leave it in LNAV. We'll imagine ATC has cleared us direct to this point. So if you remember rightly, I wanted to bring the speed back to 180 knots by the next waypoint, 180 knots or below. We're going to be there, what's the time, 53 minutes, so we'll shortly start bringing the speed back to flap 1 speed. In fact, with that tailwind, what I'm going to do now is actually select flap 1 a little bit early. So flap 1 will open the speed window, and with flaps extended it locks itself in VNAV path. Don't need the engine anti-ice on, it's 14 degrees. Luke Bailey just got the scenery this morning. I was surprised it was below 25 gig because the others are 25 gig or above and takes up a lot of storage. Well, remember, Luke, these are islands that's been generated. If this was all land, it would obviously be a huge file. And I mean, the ORBX TrueEarth, I think if you had total capacity of all the UK TrueEarth parts, I mean, it's approaching over half a terabyte, isn't it? It's a huge amount of storage needed. So speed's coming quite nicely back to the flap 1 speed. We need to make sure we don't have lower than 4,500 feet set here. I'm just going to actually, let's get all the alerts off for the approach. There we go. So you can understand a little bit more of what's going on without any distractions. So probably a little bit early with flap 1. But we're only doing 400 feet per minute. I'd expect to be going a little bit steeper than that. Yeah, the depiction of this, it is a fly past waypoint, but it doesn't come like this on the ND. It doesn't display like this quite on the ND. It will actually still be on the magenta line. What's all this tagging going on in chat? What are you lot playing? What are you all doing? I think it might be a Navigraph issue. I've seen a lot of issues with flyover waypoints and DME arcs since the last update. Okay, fair enough. Right, so we're getting this tailwind on the approach now, so we're going to select flap 5. Otherwise, you'll find the speed will run away quite quickly away from me. So flap 5 already. Why it's gone so shallow, I'm not sure. We can now step down to our final approach fix altitude, 16 DME 4,500 or above, which we are. We can now go down to 3,400 as we are on the extended, well, not centre line, the extended final approach track here. Ah, there we are. Look at that beautiful scenery from ORBX. Now she's diving, so recapturing the profile. That's not quite the 3.2 degree, but look, had I not gone flap 5 now, look at this aircraft still accelerating. That's why that light's flashing. Should be able to cancel that though. Look, if I'd been clean, or even flap 1, I'd have been in trouble here. The speed's really, really dropping off. In fact, I don't know what VNAV's doing here. Why is it going to 3,400 just there? Not sure. Gonna go flap 10. Look, speed's running away. I might even have to get a bit of speed brake out here. Yeah, VNAV's just went a little bit on a bit of a dive there, but that's coming back within limits. So yeah, very important to get some more drag out on these steeper approaches. It's now within limits. I'm at flap 10. Seems to have sorted itself out now, but just the vertical profile's gone a bit not so straight there. Not sure why. Should have done the approach checks already, but we've got the DME associated with the VOR tune, the NDB as well. Fixed rings we've got for runway 3, 6, 10 and 4. And don't need approach arm. Final approach course set. And I have 350. Yeah, what's VNAVs? There we are. Now I think it's resetting its vertical profile. So waiting now 2 miles away from the final approach fix. So 10.5 DME, there's 10, so we're within 2 miles. So what we can now set is the minimums rounded up to the nearest 40 feet, 1640 plus 100, so 17, or rounded up, sorry, to the nearest 100 feet, so 1700 feet. Verify we have VNAV with the speed window open. And don't worry, the thrusters come up. It's far better to be on the safe side here. So remember, we need to disconnect prior to Mike Quebec 36, otherwise the flight directors will level off, the aircraft will level off and start turning right on the missed approach course. Next important part here is the FAF, which you've just passed, so FAF 3,400 feet. Obviously we're just a bit late there, but we're slightly below it. That's a bit concerning. And next point is at 7 miles, we want to be at 2890. Just want to check the QNH. QNH is now 1013. I'll make a very slight adjustment, but not much. So 7 miles, there's 7 miles, 2890. Yeah, we're pretty much on profile. Next height check, we'll do it 6 miles. 6 miles, we want to be at 2540. Okay. So 6 miles.
1,000 to go.
Checked. So 25, 40, that's on profile, pretty much about 20 feet low. We can now set the missed approach altitude because we're more than 300 feet below it, so we'll set 3,000 feet now. And it's going to get quite busy now, so we're going to start configuring. Gear down, flap 15, match speed, landing checklist of flaps. Start switch is continuous, recall is checked, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake is set to 3, selecting flap 30 initially, just need to get below 162 knots before you can select flat 40. There we are, flat 40. Approaching the missed approach point now. So flaps, we've got 40, 40, green light, lights are on, checks complete. So, I'm going to disconnect. The reason is, if I don't disconnect, what I'm going to do is just delay recycling the flight directors. Watch what happens to the flight directors.
Minimums.
Continue. So I would have recycled them by now in real life. There you go, look. VNAV speed, I don't know about that. Look how it's turning right already. So we're going to get rid of those flight directors. And why the bug's changed to 160? No idea, that's a bug. So yeah, that's why you don't follow the flight directors in this case. So just keep it descending now. You can't even probably see the runway yet, but I can just about see the threshold. There it is. And just keep it on that same track, really. And keep the rate of descent going. In real life, Pappies are much brighter. You can see them in the daytime, usually a lot clearer than this. Speed's getting a bit low. I can just about see the Pappies, 2 reds, 2 whites coming in. Obviously, the streaming latency, it's not quite as good as the quality as I can see. I'm just going to start making a slight turn. We've got a tailwind and a slight crosswind from the left as well, so I'm just going to keep it on that extended track for a little bit longer until I get lined up with the runway. I don't want to turn left anymore because I'm heading towards that plateau. Now slowly start turning final now. Keep it descending. Speed's okay. Tad high now, 3 wides. So just correct that rate of descent. I'll get myself around 900 feet per minute. Don't want to get any higher than that.
500.
Checked. There we are. A little bit high on the rate of descent there. Speed's okay. Tailwind's coming from the left and behind us. There'd be a little bit of mechanical turbulence associated with that wind in real life, but not so well simulated on desktop. So checked, keep it descending, tad high, back on profile, speed's okay, keep it descending. Oh, what happened again? It's done this again. I thought I'd fix this. Oh.
150, 40, 30.
Check,
20,
close,
10.
hold. There's a slight issue with the scenery, and I know exactly why. Oh, come on. butter, take that. Right, speed brakes up. I had this issue earlier. I thought I'd fixed it, and it's come back. Speed brakes up. There's 2 runways here. I know why. 100 knots. 80 knots. 60 knots. I spent 2 hours fixing this issue earlier, literally all morning. I even launched X-Plane 11 the same way, but for some reason it's done exactly the same thing again, overlaying the default runway over the ORBX one. I have no clue why it's changed again. I got the butter in at least, albeit on probably not the right runway, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to La Palma. I hate it when stuff like this happens, guys. Oh my days. Have I actually got... No, I've actually got the default airport as well. Unbelievable! I went to so much effort to make sure this is all loaded incorrectly. I spent... The members will tell you, I spent the whole morning fixing this. Stefan Pettersson, one of the members, was helping me, and I fixed it. I was like, right, for this stream I need to launch it in the exact same order, keep the ini file in the same order. I launched it with X Organizer, prioritising the ORBX scenery, and for some reason, even though I have no scenery apart from the ORBX one associated with La Palma, it's gonna give us the default airport. That is just so annoying. Oh, I went to so much effort and length to make sure that wasn't happen. Right, I don't care. It's such a shame because it looks so good in ORBX. It looks so good in ORBX. I don't know why it does this by default. I posted on their forums as well about it, and I noticed someone shared screenshots, and I don't think he even realised he had 2 runways. And I said on the forum, I said, do you know you've got 2 runways? Because I've got the same issue now to fix it. But yes, it was an okay landing at least. Oh dear. I'm so sorry for ORBX for not showcasing their scenery. I'm even tempted to reload the simulator. I might put some background music on and do it. That's just... Yeah, X-Plane. Oh, so annoying. Well, at least the NDB approach went very well. I'm happy with how that went. That was just such a shame about the scenery. Well, you got at least the ORBX TrueEarth, the island. Which looks fantastic, obviously. The airport's just a boring default one. Load back up in the Cessna. Guys, would you like me to do the replay? What's the time? Yeah, 7:15. Alright. Nearly till 7:15. What I'll do the replay of the landing. I quickly will load up. I want to do should we do a little circuit in a Cessna just to hopefully get the scenery working? I know what I need to do, but I have no idea why I changed it, because it's all set in X Organizer to load in this way. And then we'll do the giveaway. But yeah, this happened. I think this will happen to anyone. Anyone that buys this, they need to fiddle a lot with the ini file, because it does this by default. Don't know why. Alright, cool. Let's bring it to a stop there. Right, we'll set the parking brake. APU's on the bus. 2 blues, 1 red. Engine's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to La Palma. I don't really want to showcase the airport because it's all naff default there, but at least it was a successful flight. Busker YouTube, how to get the mod? Type in Google ZIBO MOD 737. That'll get you there in the forums. Yay, cool. Yeah, okay, well, we'll do that then. We'll do a little replay, and then we'll do the giveaway, guys. There's no point... this stream was to promote the ORBX scenery, and I don't want to... you know, I did everything I need to do, so I don't know. I hope when I reload it, it works. Let's have a little look at chat there. How is it that you have 2 landing light switches and I've got 4 my ZIBO? If you look in the settings, DJ Jeff P, as Listerman said, there's several variants to choose from. Everyone wanting me to do a second flight in the Cessna. Yeah, we'll do a quick one there. David Wenker, top 50 landing according to Tobias. I saw it, the 44th best landing. Lots of butter emojis as well. Very cool. Right, well, guys, I know you're here, a lot of you are here for the giveaway, but just give me 2 seconds. Let's enjoy. At least the sim didn't crash. I can tell you what, I'm pretty confident it's related to X-Pilot, because I've made a note of this. I've done 6 flights, okay? 4 of those flights I used X-Pilot. I've had 4 crashes. 2 of those flights I haven't used X-Pilot, no problems at all. So I'm 99.9% sure it's related. I'm not doing the funky music yet because it's not the end of the stream.
400, 300.
There you go. So it's actually landing probably on the wrong runway, but you see how it's sloped down, and as I flared, the runway's actually disappearing below you, so you've got to get on the ground quite quickly. So if you don't, you'll just end up floating and floating and floating. Nice. I'm here for the daily dose of butter. Thanks, Dolphin. You just got a little bit. Well, I was hoping to end the stream there, but party's not over yet, guys. Oh, engines are dead. Oh, there they are. Perfect. Well, what we're going to have to do then is back out of X-Plane. And I know it's going to show you a bit of a boring screen, but X-Plane never likes it when you quit like that. So yeah, it hasn't crashed, remember, guys. I'm just going to try and see... Oh, come on, X-Plane. There we go. Let me just open X Organizer here. I don't know if something happened to the order. Or did I launch? I definitely launched it in X Organizer. X Organizer is basically... I'll show you actually. Hold on, if I share the screen. I have no idea why that's not worked. So, guys, if you just joined the stream, everything was fine. It was just that we didn't see the Gran Canary, La Palma scenery. But I don't know how we're going to get it to work, because everything I did to fix that issue this morning is exactly as it was. Let me just share the screen with you guys. Where's share screen? This is where my professional live streaming ability goes to pot. I can't even find it. Display capture, there we go. Can you see that, guys? There you go. So here's my X Organizer. I know why it is. Look, it's changed the order. You got to put priority in. I've got to put La Palma at the top. That's why. So it must have changed that automatically. I was having an issue earlier, and this has all changed. But X Organizer, it rearranges the scenery.ini file. So you can prioritize what's loaded, and I know why that wasn't top. But I had it on top earlier. I don't know how it changed. Went back to the middle. So if I push start X-Plane now, it should... For you guys get all nosy, there's nothing there that you can see that would be giving away any privacy anyway. I always make sure in case that accidentally happens. Look, there you go. I wonder how many people in chat are pausing now. Ooh. Unfortunately, I can't go full screen there. Choose close when saving first. I've never done that. Well, probably that's what the issue is, but I launched it like this earlier and it worked. Right, what aircraft are we taking? Should we take something a bit more fun than a Cessna? SR-71 Blackbird. What have we got here? No, so let's stick with the Cessna. Let's give that a roll. Andy M71, yeah, it changed the order. I don't know how it changed the order though. Stefan Pedersen helped me out. Actually, Andy DC3 would have been a bad shout. I'm tempted to change it to a DC3. Captain Monster 8300, break the Sassel plugging again. Last 737 cooking, great surprise of the desert. Why on earth do you use Audacity? That's what I use for when I'm recording tutorials. To record the audio. Let's take the TU-154. The setup will take another hour. Shouldn't take too long to load. Yeah, I'm actually going to reload into the DC3. We're going to hope the scenery's reloaded correctly first. Oh, listen to him. The audacity to ask it. That's that. I know. Yay!
check your
It's worked,
quarantine
guys.
script
Now look at
folder.
that. That's better. Well, firstly, let's change for DC3 because that is what we want to fly today. Do I have an alpaca one of those? No, I don't. Where's the all metal? No, let's just go default. Start of engines running as well. Had to. Jamlin, have you missed the giveaway? You haven't. We're going to do a quick circuit here to showcase the scenery because for some reason, I don't know how, the order was changed. So when we landed here, it was the default airport overlaid over the ORBX 1. And this whole idea of this stream was to showcase scenery, and I went to so much effort this morning to make sure that it wouldn't happen, but it happened. I don't know how. Anyway, you can see here, this is La Palma, which is included with the entire package. So remember, this is just not one island included with this. You get every one of the 9 islands of Canary Islands. But yeah, it's just classic ORBX quality. Very high quality, and obviously it merges absolutely perfectly with the ORBX TrueEarth. So we're going to do a quick circuit in the DC3, which I've not flown since the last stream. Oh my days, I no clue. It's been such a long time, got no flaps. Let's do a flaps up departure. I hope being in the ready for takeoff position is all ready to go. It does sound awesome, so I will turn the sounds up as full as we can here. Yes, that's better. I'm just going to pretty much smoothly set takeoff power. This is the V-Sky Labs DC3, by the way. Open the window up so we get maximum noise on takeoff. And I'm actually going to turn the music off so you can enjoy this because it does sound really cool. You guys will all be asking for a DC3 stream now. So we're just going to have a little fly around, a little circuit around the coastline, see what it looks like. This is all unplanned, by the way. Enjoy this. I think it's 35 inches for takeoff. Right, brakes released. I don't know if you can hear me. Right, here comes the tail up. It's been a right run, it's down the centre line. And we're airborne. Here's coming up. Enjoy this. There you go. Maybe we'll shut that window now. That's a bit better. So I've not read the manual how to fly this in such a long time, so I'm probably meant to reduce decline power here. So we're just going to do a little bit of a flight around the coastline, just show off a little bit of the ORBX scenery. We'll do the giveaway, so you can be landing here whatever aircraft you want. Look at the detail there, that's so nice. Right, who wants DC3 stream then? Exploring the Canary Islands next. That's going to be coming up. So maintain about 120 knots, turn down wind now. Just presuming 1,000 feet is the circuit height. I've not touched the RPM, the mixture gauge or anything. Yeah, last time we flew the DC3, the only time we flew the DC3, we flew Miami to Key West and Key West to Havana. That was over a year ago now. So just maintain 1,000 feet. Oh, how fun is this? Now roll out downwind, very extended downwind. This is a nice DC through as well, the V Skylabs one. Got even a dome view, look. Very cool. It's the V Skylabs DC3. Just sounds wicked, doesn't it? Yeah, there is La Palma, included with the ORBX TrueEarth scenery. As I said, we'll be giving away a copy as soon as we've landed, so we'll be buttered back into La Palma. And obviously, yeah, I think we'll do a stream exploring some of these islands, and I think this aircraft, if I don't take this, it'll be the Seneca. Obviously the Seneca is a little bit better for instrument flying, but I think this wouldn't be too bad. If only, no, actually, does this come with an X checklist? I think it actually does. I need to reenact. Yes, it's already. Ah, yes, it does. I remember, and it also. See if we can at least do a bit of a checklist for landing. So detailed. Descent, so 20 to 23 inches for descent. So much for maintaining 1,000 feet. So I actually already have my descent power there. RPM's far too high. I need to reassign all my switches though.
50,
2,000
40,
RPM.
30, 20, 10.
Slowly start descending now. Thanks to Not Me for the pounds. Hi Captain, do you know what a famous Polish politician? Check. Assassin spent 14 million to voting cards that were never used. What are you on about? I have no clue what you're on about, Not Me. It sounds a little bit random. Anyway, may to get the speed below 112 miles an hour before we select flaps. Very tight here, actually. Just bring a bit more power back. For any DC3 aficionados, no clue how to fly this aircraft at all. At least I've got to show you the scenery. Speed back a little bit more. There's 112. Select and launch your flaps. Oh, I think you've got to hold it down. That's it. Yes, you've got to let go. Multiply it off 100 miles an hour. I'm going to start turning base now. When you're 100 miles an hour, you can select flaps to 3/4 or full. Oh, what a sound! What a sight! Oh, wrong button. Just go 3/4 flaps. There's the runway. Bring that speed to 85 miles an hour. That's on short final. Should be doing 95 now, so we're going full on the props now. So it's a big Seneca. Drop the gear as well. Let's go to gear view for that. Oh yes, I remember all the speeds here. Oh cool. Man, I miss this aircraft. Trevor Hall 2000. Oh come on, add Roger to every line. Bring that speed back to 85 knots then. Same weather, and turn live weather on here. And yeah, apologies for the approach in the 7-3. Not showing the other airport. I mean, all that time I spent this morning. What a shame that didn't land at work, but at least you can see it now. I'll have to check the order of that every time. Did you miss the giveaway? You haven't. We're going to do the giveaway shortly. So lining up a final, 85 miles an hour, a little bit high, going 5 miles an hour fast. So just bring the speed back to 85. kind of still using power for speed like you would in the 7.3 pitching. There we are, speed's plugged in. There we are on final. Looking good. We've got a slight quartering tailwind on the left. And there, that's what we should have seen on the first approach of the 737, the beautiful runway. Cut the power. Yeah, it's holding off. All getting blown off downwind here. Oh, lovely. I feel like I landed on all three wheels though. Oh, full left on the rudder. Oh no! What's happened? Oh! Did that on purpose? Just showboating, guys. What happened there? Did I not lock the tail wheel? Just showboating, that's all. Did that on purpose. A butter and a roulette. I really need to practice flying this aircraft. God, that was hard to control. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it sounds like I'm putting some sort of handbrake on there. Come on. Now, how do you lock the nose wheel on this? I can't remember. I think it feels like it's castering at the moment. No one saw that, did they? Oh my! I think it's really hard to taxi. I'm really struggling at the moment. I'm going to try and get it onto stand. Nothing to see here, you've got it. Yeah, there's no replay to watch, guys. Yeah, the replay function, I don't know if you realise on the latest update, doesn't work. Or whenever you fly the DC-3, it doesn't work. Sorry about that. It's so hard to taxi. Well, at least we did a circuit somewhat safely. I will go park next to the Transavia. We've definitely arrived in style, though. No, yes, here comes the suicidal ground crew as usual. Unbelievable. What are you doing? Yep. Yeah, slam on your brakes, Herbert. Thanks a lot. Yeah, great. Every day, every time. Oh, having to constantly use the rudder here to keep it straight and narrow. Let's go stand number 11. Oh yeah, we should have the window open for sure. There we go. Yeah, I didn't have this difficulty taxiing last time, but I think there's two levels. I think there's like an expert taxiing mode. This one, if I remember rightly. Right, how do I set the parking brake? I'm not sure, so I'm just going to kill the engines. Oops. Oh my goodness, it's done that thing again where it's there we go. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, anyway, welcome to, I think that's really nice taxi centre-line parking, obviously, but it's cocked the wheel round, but I think I'm bang on there. But yes, what a lovely, enjoyable circuit that was in the V-Skylabs DC-3. Go check that out. It's great fun, as you can see. You can even do 360s after landing to show off, which is what I did. Amazing. I can't believe that. Great fun. Well, of course, the stream is not over. We are going to do a giveaway today. You can win the ORBX scenery, so don't forget, this scenery includes this airport. With all 9 islands. This is just the island of La Palma, which is obviously a huge island, but Tenerife, the biggest, is included, all the scenery there. I'm not going to showcase all of those today due to time, but I just wanted to showcase the high quality airport included, but all the islands are there. I'm sure you can see plenty of screenshots online. Do bear in mind, it is available on sale only for the first few days upon release. It was released today, so it's worthwhile picking up. But of course, before you go and order it, you have a chance of winning it here on this live stream. If you are the lucky winner, what I would like you to do is get in contact with me via social media. All I need to do is get your email address for you to be gifted the scenery, and I'll do that for you this evening. So again, please only enter the giveaway as well if you have X-Plane 11. If you don't have X-Plane 11, there's very little point of you entering because there's no other associated prize. It is just for the scenery. If no one comes forward, which has happened before, I'll re-roll the giveaway on another stream or so. But all you've got to do in chat is type in a keyword. Okay, I already have a keyword planned for this one. I must be oohing and ahhing. Okay. So the keyword is to do with the approach we flew in the ZIBO Mod 737 20 minutes ago when we arrived on stand, or before arriving on stand, and we flew what's called an NDB approach. Okay, what does the B stand for in NDB? All you got to do is type that in chat. It's case sensitive. You can use lowercase, uppercase. All right, yeah, stop, behave it, you guys. Behave it. Members are like children today. What does B stand for in NDB? And you can win this fantastic scenery. Ah, there we go. Excellent. I think we've got the correct answer in chat here, of course. The B in non-directional beacon stands for beacon, NDB approach. Leonard Webber thinks it's bonkers. Butter, not quite. I'll let you go for another few seconds, guys, just in case it's a bit of latency or delay in the stream. Very good. Alright guys, if you keep an eye on chat, I'll roll it now. We'll see who the winner is. 3, 2, 1, roll. The winner is Moen! That's completely random, guys. Oh, here we go. Oh, can't wait for the rigged ones here. Moen is a member of the channel. He's a very active member of the channel as well. He's just won the giveaway. Congratulations to you. Completely random. You have won it. Rigged, yeah, of course, 100%. Dr. Moen, Mauam, as is well known, has won the giveaway. Congratulations. He's got the... He's gone with a smiley face, like that. Well, there you go. Fixed, yeah, unbelievable. Fix, yeah. Rigged, any more? Surely rigged, yeah, sus, rigged. Brilliant. Amazing. Congratulations to you. You have won the giveaway. So you can enjoy that in X-Plane 11 if you haven't purchased it already, which I hope you hadn't because you wouldn't have taken part in the quiz or the giveaway even. Amazing, amazing. Well, we'll call that a day then for another X-Plane 11 Flying Deck Sim live stream. I hope you all found that very enjoyable. Certainly was great fun, especially at the end there, flying the DC-3. I'm so sorry the show didn't go as like I usually like to do, which is very smoothly with regards to the scenery issue. I knew about that this morning, fixed it, spent a good hour and a half fixing it, and the issue was it changed the order in X organizer for some reason to ensure that the airport was not below the scenery, and for some reason the default airport shows up. But I hope you enjoyed the stream regardless and learned something in the ZIBO Mod 737 regarding NDB approaches, so you can at least have a crack at that. And of course we are going to end the stream with a replay. I can see everyone going there a little bit crazy for it, but here we go. There we are, 18 minutes. Thank you X-Plane for not crashing. I think it's pretty conclusive. The issue I've been having is with X-Pilot, because out of the 6 flights I've done recently, 4 with X-Pilot, all 4 crashed. The 2 I've done without X-Pilot have had no crashes at all. So I will try to find a way of fixing it. I have had not much input in regards to what could be causing that issue, but I hope to get that up and running ASAP. There we are, the DC-3. I've got no tips or techniques because I have no clue how to fly a tail dragger. There you go. Yeah, just about landed on the main gear first. And there's me already using the rudder look. like full left rudder, bit of lane, when I went right, then it's oscillating, and then I was already round, look. Facing the wrong direction. Oh dear. Oh, you'd like the takeoff as well? I'll do it. Would you like me to do the takeoff? It's only such a short video, I can do the takeoff, to be fair. So what I'll do, I'll just pause it. Let me put myself in a nice position to watch the takeoff. I reckon if we watch it from here, I think that's a really good call to do a replay takeoff. We've never done one of those before. Right, let's really crank the sounds up as well. Here we go then. Enjoy. So good. Sight. Oh, it's going to be shivers down my spine, that is, genuinely. It's like descending a bit there, though. Another one? Should we do another one of those? Tower. Ready? Sims are so good at replicating that feeling of like the sounds. That's really cool. Can't say X-Plane looks bad, can you? I mean, look at it. Amazing. Alright then guys, well, thank you to everyone that turned up today's live stream. Really, really good fun. I hope you enjoyed the flight in the ZIBO MOD 737. Learned something about NDB approach, as I said earlier, and congratulations to Mo, and he won the giveaway as well. I can't stress enough, it's completely random, guys. We had such a long run where no members won it, and we have had a couple that won it recently. Don't feel like there's anything suspicious going on. We'll be doing more giveaways coming up in the stream as well. Probably might try something out on Flight Decks and Gaming tomorrow. I'll keep you posted in the social media feeds as well. I've got my lovely new steering wheel to try out. But as ever, I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas as well. Thank you to everyone that donated, contributed today. Very, very generous of you all. And to all my members, thank you for the continued support. To all my regular subscribers, I hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll be sure to see you on the next Flight Deck to Seville live stream as well. Take care then. See you soon. Bye for now.